It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. We the people as our beat and rhyme. We're dropping old school values every time. Extreme honesty with a fresh twist. Breaking it down, you don't wanna miss. It's freedom talk, loud and proud. Voice of the people, can't be cowed. Every week, we speak our mind. For love of country, it's one of a kind. So grab a seat, let the BRANE Show roll. We're serving up truth, heart and soul. Brian and Shane with that patriot steel. For the people, by the people, of the people, let's go. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall.
This is for America!
Shut the fuck up!
Yep. All right.
You know what the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run! And we will live!
Shame on you! This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee you, a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option. That's how winning is done. Believe me when I say we can break this army here. It has made us brothers. I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time. You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
Fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
Cut out their living guts.
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time.
Seize the day.
Never surrender.
Victory or death.
So come on then! Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord.
When I tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
Our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina. Energy to do our thing, get your camera up. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Oh! My name is Brian, that is John. You are watching The BRANE Show, and Shane will be joining us later on in the show. He likes to do his fatherly duties first before he gets here. But don't worry, you have us in the meantime. I'm going to make sure my mic seems low. John, how you doing today, bro?
I am doing well, my friend, and how are you?
Not bad, bro. Hanging in there.
Yeah, ready to go. Lots of good stuff to talk about tonight again, as always.
As usual, look, just trying to make it through the week to get to our Stargate watch party. That's it.
Oh yeah.
My only goal is just if I can just live through the week so I can get to our Sunday watch parties, I'm good. It's good.
Well, we've got an added bonus starting not tomorrow, but the following Sunday. We are starting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that watch parties that are going to be tagged on to the end of the final episode of Stargate SG-1. So you don't just get Stargate SG-1, you'll get an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Doing it on Thursdays was hard, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but what we're talking about today, we're talking about some pretty great stuff. First off, here at the BRANE Show, no one is safe from our wrath. So if you are doing something shady or wrong or morally reprehensible, I don't care if you're on the right, the left, the center. I don't care if you're a Martian, a Solarian, or a human being. We are going to criticize you, which means we get to talk about some conservative influencers, aka the MAGA right, and their weird astroturfing for all things India. They all got the same memo, it looks like. Very interesting. Also, Trump didn't die, but in the few days people thought he was dead. The liberals went real weird. Like, they were doing real weird stuff, and Bering had a video on it, so I was like, we need to talk about these weird, their reactions. I mean, they were like, I was looking at their astrological signs, and it said, like, okay, all right, calm down, guys. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we're going to talk about South Park Episode 5, Season 27, Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3, and Patrick Bet-David and his latest collaborative video where it's Patrick Bet-David versus like 20 communists. What a great video that was, because it showed that all these quote-unquote communists, they're just really, really good at shifting the blame for their lives to other people.
Yeah, they don't stick to their principles and what they supposedly
Am I still hard to hear? Guys,
I can hear you okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can, but can everyone else?
I can.
Okay, I fixed my volume, Dutch. Let me make sure if it's good. Yeah, okay. You know what? I always forget something. So when the software we use to bring John and Shane in, there's this little stupid tab that is checked by default, and it says auto gain control. And every once in a while, I forget to uncheck that stupid tab. And so when John comes in with a super loud mic, it thinks that it needs to lower my volume to accommodate him. So
I knew we would get to that. I knew it would be my fault.
Well, you see, just like the communists, I need to shift blame. That's my goal.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad you guys are here today. Thank you for coming over. Some of you guys came over from Salty Saturday. Awesome. I appreciate you guys viewing both. I know that Saturday can be a long stream day for you guys. 4 hours. From your perspective, hey, it's 4 hours of entertainment. From my perspective, I'm like, how are these people watching us for 4 hours? It's insane.
Yeah, it's 4 quality hours. That's what it is.
4 quality entertainment hours. That's right. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. I do have a new little animation here I want to show you guys. It's called the Hot Take animation, sponsored by Dr. Pepper. So every once in a while, if I want to go on a side quest and you see this hot take pop up, that means we're just doing a quick side quest to complain about something that just came up in the moment. If you see this hot take sponsored by Dr. Pepper, that is our hot take of the day. Let's jump straight into it, Johnny. Let's talk about, what do you want to talk about first? I'm going to let you decide. Are we talking about the AstroTurf for India or the Trump not dead stuff?
Oh, let's start off with a cracker. Let's do the Trump not dead.
Okay, so Trump not dead. So what happened was Trump was out for a little bit. I'm not sure if you remember this, but for about a week he sort of left the limelight. People were originally theorizing whether or not he had like a medical issue, or maybe he had surgery or some kind of treatment. And that's why he took off a week. Look, I don't know what the reason was. And we're going to read the Daily Beast article here about it. But I can tell you this. He didn't die. And what's more concerning was the reaction we got from the liberals. And the real weird ones, too. Like the weird ones on TikTok that have they're part of like Book Talk and they're part of like Witch Talk. Apparently, another side quest here. I got a hot take of the day. Why are there so many different TikTok groups? Did you know about this recently? I found out.
Didn't know about the factions.
Dude, there is factions. So they have Book Talk, where it's basically people that read books, but really it's not actually about books. It's about being very sexually aggressive. So it's like all the romance novel people sort of took over that portion of TikTok. Then you have the Witch Talk people who all share different witchcraft spells and predictions. It's real weird, bro. It's real weird.
Do you know what? I've just got an image at some point of it being like Anchorman, where they all meet up down some alleyway and they're all just fighting each other to the death. Like one of them with a book just beating one of the witches to death.
And you got like you got this poor guy just holding a grenade. What do I do with this?
In the grenade making book.
Yeah, it's wild though. It's wild. These different groups on TikTok. It's very weird to me. I've never understood. I mean, I get like there's niches, but like TikTok, the way the algorithm works, it actually prioritizes putting people into their own little unique niche algorithms, which means that if you like too many or watch too many TikToks about like, pit bulls or whatever, you're going to be part of Pit Talk, where it's all about pit bulls and nothing else. And I don't get that. So what they want to do is the algorithm wants you to stay on the platform, right?
Yeah.
But in doing that, it's limiting what you're able to see. And it's sort of rewarding people creating the same content over and over and over again. It's very odd to me.
They firewalled. Yeah.
Right.
You'd think at some point they'd just shake it up a little bit, like someone's just about to lock off and then a witch will come in and go, that book's crap. And then that's it. They're on there for another 14 hours non-stop, and it's pure on fighting, You
ever seen that that show Mythic Quest?
Yeah.
So Mythic Quest is great show, one of my favorites. There's an episode where like Nazis take over the game, and they're not all the players are Nazis, but like the loudest, most aggressive, most annoying players in the game are these Nazis, and this whole episode is dedicated to not knowing how to deal with them. And first they want to fight them. They want to discourage them from meeting up and grouping up, take away their ability to chat. At one point, they give them a shovel as a new item, and they just use that shovel to make a bunch of swastikas. And they can't fight against these Nazi trolls who are just like ruining the game for regular players. Well, what they decide to do is they decide to create a whole server that uses AI to find out whether or not that's a Nazi account. And when they log into the game, it just sort of shoots them over to that one server, the Nazi server. So they're still playing the game, but now they're just yelling at each other. There's no one else in there to yell at. So you have a whole server that is filled with a bunch of Nazis. And that reminded me of TikToks. Like as you surf and react and like and share whatever you're doing on there. I don't even know how the platform works. But whatever you're doing, the algorithm is slowly filtering you into, this is what this person likes. This is what we will show them. So that just tells me that it's not a great place to find new audience unless you're prepared to be very niche unless you want to be a witch or a romance novelist or whatever. Like you're not going to get a whole lot of movie reviewers, I guess. I don't know.
Basically, that it's the equivalent of rats killing each other in a sack. At that point, until there's one left right at the end.
Right.
That's TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok is a wild place. Anyway, so on TikTok, because Trump was quote unquote dead for a while, TikTok was really going ham on what they thought was prophetic. So some TikTokers go, this was all predicted in The Simpsons. And they had a mashup between So stupid. The mashup between certain Simpson episodes that did have, show at one point Donald Trump's casket or whatever. One lady said she predicted this in the stars, but she was only now sharing her predictions because she didn't want to be targeted by the Trump administration. But she had already months ago predicted his death. They were convinced that he had 100% passed away. And the reactions that we got were so weird and so out there and so outlandish, and I'm going to try to show you guys some, that what really sold it, though, was when he came back and everything just died down immediately. So imagine,
has she gone back into hiding, that psychic, now?
Here's the question. So have you ever had a friend that so definitively stated something and then was completely wrong afterwards, and then they would just try to act like that never happened?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been that guy. I've done that. Okay, it's just the way it is. Like, oh, it's not? Oh. All right, move on. Well, it's funny, though, when like 100,000 people do that all at the same time. It's really funny how traffic just dies immediately. They just all take 3 days off of TikTok. Pretty crazy.
Do you know what I laughed at about all of this nonsense, though, was I saw Jen Psaki at one point. She was in on it. Basically, she'd gone straight into it about, she was starting to believe or push that Trump might have passed away. Really? And this was the same person. Yeah, this was the same person under Biden who was basically having a pop at people for even insinuating that Biden might have passed away or there was something wrong with Biden.
Right.
So it's like the pure hypocrisy of you're now doing it on the other side. And you wonder why people don't have any trust of the media at the moment.
Well, what's funny is so Trump takes a week off basically for who knows. He had a bruise on his hand. He was looking a little unhealthy. We don't know the actual reason, nor do I really care as long as he's fine. But a week off, and it fueled a whole subculture of people losing their minds and predicting about how this already happened and celebrating even like a victory dance. But Biden was gone for months at a time.
Yeah.
Literally months. He would be gone for 2 or 3 months. No one would see him, hear him. No idea what he was doing. And no one had any, I guess a lot of people said, he was unfit to be president, which it clearly was the case. But I never saw anyone saying, did he die? It was such a weird, not a single left account ever even assumed. In fact, they would say, he's working hard. He's doing great. He's very healthy. Come, chill out, guys.
But do you know what I found in the last week when all this was going on? When you look online a lot, the so-called peace-loving people who just want to live in a peaceful society are the ones putting out tweets and chanting, oh, I really hope he's dead. It's my dream come true if he's dead. All of that nonsense about Trump. And it's like, it's funny when the shoe's on the other foot, isn't it?
Right.
That the peaceful crowd suddenly say, oh yeah, we are loving and peaceful, but only if we like you.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's only if you like it. So this is from Bering's video. I thought it was really interesting. I'm going to show you guys a clip right now. I guess that's the echo chamber, and I guess what we can pull from that is not to be don't be part of an echo chamber. For the love of God, don't be part of one. Learn.
Yep.
Learn.
Think for yourself.
Think for yourself. Even if we say something you don't agree with or you don't think is correct, go fact check it, dude. No big deal. I'm not gonna be mad at you if you fact check me. And to be fair, I'm wrong at least 25% of the time. So, all right. So
just 25%.
At least 25%. At least. So this is from Bering. Cool channel. You guys check him out when you get a chance. I'll put the link in the description.
He's a fucking robot.
He's a fraud, I tell you. That shade of orange is 2 shades too light.
Yeah. So we've got some crazy.
So there's a lot there, but what happens is there were people making AI videos on how he was dead and he was a robot. I mean, just really crazy stuff. And I don't want to get on another Dr. Pepper hot take here, but the AI stuff is really getting sort of out of control. It's starting to get dystopian. I don't know if you've noticed this, But I don't know, I can't even tell half the time. And I'm like an AI expert, and I'm literally having a hard time knowing the difference between what I'm saying is real or anymore.
You screwed me over on this, mate, because you gave me the rule a while back. You said always look for the fingers, and then you told me they're even getting good at the fingers, so I can't even look at the fingers anymore. It's got so bad, mate. When I go out into a pub, I'm looking at the fingers now.
To be fair, it used to be the fingers. But now the fingers are really very good. I don't know.
She's in a bar. She's a beautiful girl. She's into me. She's got a great personality. Check the fingers.
Check the fingers.
Those fingers.
Yep. Now,
too good to be true.
What you need to do is you need to check the text. Like, if there's text on her clothing, is it jarbled?
Yeah. Or if she's got a bar or QR code tattoo on her shoulder.
Right. All right, so this is one more clip I wanted to show you guys from this. I thought it was really funny. This is from Bearing's video. Go check his video out. I'll put the link in the description after the stream. Here we go.
Let's look at Donald Trump's medical astrology for today, tomorrow, so we can kind of take a look at what's going on, because everybody's talking about it because he's not being seen. So let's look.
So I'm sorry. Let me give this guy. He interjects so he doesn't get a copyright claim. Here's the rest of it.
We're gonna look at this, and then tomorrow he's gonna. Okay.
I'm gonna save it. She predicts that he died. I'm gonna save it. In fact, every one of these predictions all predicted that Donald Trump had passed away. We live in an era where it's more financially, it's more of a financial incentive for you to just make crap up that will get you quick clicks, than to be correct. Because the attention span of people online is so low that you can put out a theory that is completely and totally false in every way, lie every which way from Sunday, get a ton of clicks, get a ton of engagements from people arguing with you or agreeing with you or whatever. And then when you're wrong, you can just delete that TikTok or that video or that post. And some people will give you shit about it, but the vast majority of people that are your clicks won't, because their attention span is tiny. And that's the world we live in right now. I put out a theory video on my DC channel that had like 40,000 views. I was completely wrong. Totally wrong. I did not take it down. I still get views every once in a while with comments being like, well, you were completely wrong. Like, yeah, no shit. That's why I called it a theory video. But what other people do is they'll delete those videos and act like they didn't exist.
Never did it.
Because the cost to reputation ratio is skewed, and it's better to get fast clicks than it is to be right. And that, I don't want to live in that world, man.
I agree. And to be honest, mate, you've given me an idea for my movie and TV show reviews, especially Star Trek Strange New Worlds, because I'm just going to put one of those on the screen and go, here's my chart just with my review of Strange New Worlds with a few colors on it. And I go, yeah, it's a bad episode. That's what it says. I'm going to use the astrological chart now to do my reviews.
Dude, this one was great. I'm not going to play it, but she has these little sticks.
She's dousing.
Yeah, they're like...
yeah, she's dousing. Yeah.
What kind of sticks are those?
I forget what they're called, but they do them in the UK where they're trying to find ley lines.
Yeah, like finding water or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Right, and so she uses them like they're magic. And she's like, it's going to predict whether Donald Trump is alive or not. And they're like, I don't understand the science here. I don't even understand the mythical part of it. I don't get it. They're just some copper sticks. But she really believes in it. And then she goes, it's confirmed Donald Trump has passed away. And you're like, 3 days later, he shows back up. No big deal.
But what happens is they're like water below, and it basically just does words, and it just says Trump dead.
I don't get it. It's almost like Ouija boards.
Yeah.
Kids always fell for it, but like remember the Ouija board wanted you to put multiple hands on the Ouija board. What that does is that people's because they're not all in sync, they're not thinking with the same brain, and they start moving the thing around, what they're feeling is not spirits guiding them. They're feeling the different resistances from different people that also have their hands on it.
Yeah.
And they're finding what you call an average positioning. That average positioning is not spiritual. It's literally a bunch of people who cannot think at the same time trying to operate the same tool. But that's the stick behind it. That's the trick. But they've sold millions of Ouija boards because this one thing, this one little trick that younger people just can't sort of figure out on their own. They think it's real spirits, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we need to go back at some point and see if these people have actually just deleted these videos.
So
that they've put out.
I looked at the water one. I tried to find her original video. It's gone.
Yeah.
The witch that used chicken bones, and I really wish I had them so I can actually show you. But the witch that used chicken bones to like predict it, her gone. Her entire account's gone. So I'm not sure if she like deleted herself or what.
Gone AWOL.
I don't know. But a lot of them are gone. That's why I had to use Bearing's video, because I didn't save these. I didn't expect a lot of these videos to be completely just like gone the next day. So this is what it says though on Daily Beast, and this was before he showed up. But like, let me just give you what they thought. The president has not been seen since Tuesday, fueling a speculation about his mortality and that he exhibits signs of declining health. Guys, one day of him not in the camera, and people were writing articles about it. One day. That was one day from him not being on camera, and people thought he must be dead. It's wild.
See, it's different over here because it's the reverse, because we're actually wishing for Starmer to go away. Please get him away from camera. Not like you guys. You love your president. We want it the other way. We want him to disappear.
We like him. There's plenty of people that don't like him.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
The majority like him.
Well, yeah. According to the voting records, more than 50%. So. All right. Well, speaking of MAGA that voted for President Trump, let's talk about MAGA astroturfing. This is a real thing. So we're starting to learn that there's a lot of MAGA accounts, like Gunther Eagleman, who literally looks like an AI, person. This person does not look like an actual person. It looks like if AI wanted to create an American first influencer. And you've seen this guy, American AF. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Well, this American AF had the same exact scripted message about soda when Kennedy wanted to ban all soda from SNAP benefits. When he wanted to ban soda pop and Coca-Cola and that kind of stuff from being able to purchase with SNAP benefits, a lot of these exact influencers went ham. And they were like, we are living a free society. We cannot let the government dictate what we are allowed to put in our bodies. And the wild thing is, first off, the government's not dictating. The government's just saying, if you're using our money, you're not buying soda. Okay. So chill out on that. Secondly, and this is the most important, they all use the same script. And let me show you what that script is. And I'm trying to paint this picture before we get into the Indian stuff, so you can see exactly how bad it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So looking at this, the government wants to block soda purchases for Americans on SNAP. Remember when NYC tried this and it completely backfired? Let's just go to the next one. They want to restrict soda purchases through SNAP. They used it, by the way, it's sort of interesting how soda and SNAP are both bold. It's almost like they literally copied and pasted from a email.
Yeah.
And every one of these things went crazy. Same exact at the same time, pretty much very similar posting in regards to big soda and not being able to, restrict being able to buy soda with your SNAP benefits. And if you don't know what SNAP benefits are, they're basically food stamps. So the government gives low income people money on a card. It's called the SNAP card. Basically, it's food stamps. And the SNAP card, it's very cool because it can actually in real time decide if you're allowed to buy beer with it, or vegetables for your children. And we've all decided pretty much that you shouldn't be buying beer with your SNAP benefits, right? You need to buy food that feeds your children. And what happened was soda was always something you can buy on your SNAP benefits. And Kennedy suggested that soda should not be allowed to be bought. Now, if you think that these are real influencers, and these are 4 options, right? But I did find like 12 different screenshots. Well, Riley Gaines, who's a pretty popular influencer, she literally responded to this guy who said soda companies are paying influencers to pressure Trump administration to keep taxpayer-funded soda subsidies for lower-income kids. She responded with, "They offered to pay me to post. A big fat heck no." And when she did respond, a lot of other people responded and that were influencers. They go, "Yeah, I got the same email." This soda lobbyist company offered a bunch of these influencers to post about how this is anti-American and the government overreach and all this stuff. And that's why they all pretty much posted at the same exact time. And they used the same sheet, that same sheet that they literally got from it's called Influenced or Influencer. It's an actual website where you can hire influencers. And that sheet was basically like, here's your talking points. And here's the problem. Do I think you should be able to buy soda with your SNAP purchases? No, I don't. I think you should be buying healthy.
Common sense, really, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
But I also don't care if people do. I wouldn't, if I had SNAP, I wouldn't do it. I would encourage other people with SNAP to only buy, use their SNAP benefits for healthy things. I also don't really care if the people do or not. It seems like a fight that I'm not a SNAP guy. I have no dog in this fight. But it would seem like you said common sense that if you're using food stamps, you're not buying Coca-Cola, buy something healthy for your children. I think instead of trying to get people to do the right thing via force and rules, I think we should be promoting good parenting and a healthy family unit. And a lot of these problems will work themselves out. Instead of trying to, legislate, with rules on how people should be reacting. My whole thing with the government is less government. I don't think SNAP benefits should exist at all. But they do. I can't do anything about it. So if they want to make rules on what you can buy, there's already rules. You can't buy beer. You can't buy, addictive things. So I don't see a problem with putting something on that list. I don't at all.
No, not at all. I mean, it's the same in our country. There gets to a point where you wish the government would back off and you just let parents who are meant to parent, make the right decisions for the family and certainly for kids. Right. There's too much overreach these days. And, certainly this just sounds like common sense to me. I assume he's getting a lot of pushback on this as well, but,
well, yeah,
big time. But
the story here is not about sodas, though. I'm trying to show you guys the pattern that accounts are being bought by lobbyists, by companies that want to convince the American, specifically MAGA, that something that's happening within the administration is a good idea. So this was the first thing I found with MAHA, MAHA, and the Kennedy stuff, where literally people were being paid to pressure Kennedy to not do this. And it's sort of sickening. Well, now you have this whole thing with, did you hear about that news with India and Trump?
I've seen, is this about the connections to China?
Yeah, so
that he's put out tweets in the last few days, isn't he? About he's put one out yesterday as well, isn't he? About we've lost India. Someone's put something out about losing India, and there's a lot of influence out there, or supposed influences saying stuff.
Right. Yeah. So basically, and we're not going to get too much in the woods, but basically, Trump is building a relationship with India. And it doesn't matter whether you agree with it or not. I personally don't think India has anything to offer us. No offense to Indians, like, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but like, there's no value currently in your country. Everything you do is connected to us domestically, whether you're scamming people or selling things or recycling or whatever. And I'm going to say this as nice as possible, but India is basically a parasite. Like other countries, they're a parasite on first world countries. And that doesn't mean you can stop being a parasite. These countries can eventually become symbiotic with first world countries. But we do not have to kowtow to them. We don't have to worry about India. So the tweet you're talking about was when he said that we've lost India and Russia to the deepest, darkest China.
Yes.
And
that's it.
And he also started, there was a lot of different posts about him being friendly with the leader of India, and it looks like they're trying to set up some kind of like conference, right? Well, then and again, I don't care. If India wants to go to China, let them go. Like, again, no offense, but that country, just like other third world countries, are basically parasites. They need first world countries to just exist. I think maybe you upgrade your way of life, upgrade your country, upgrade what you do, and then maybe we can work on a partnership. There's no reason to partner with people that can't offer anything.
Well, little side quest about India and my country, right? This is going to blow your mind, mate. I know. We are still paying international aid to India, and they have their own space program. The UK is paying aid to India.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, every day there's something in my country and I'm like, what the hell, man? What the hell?
Yeah, bro. Like, you know what I would love to do? Let's just stop. Can we just make sure that no one in India can call the United States at any moment? Because there's an entire industry that revolves around tricking older people into giving them their money. And you're talking about billions and billions of dollars being just lost every year to Indians. And I don't hate India or Indians at all. I just think that the country is real messed up. They don't know, they have so little restrictions. They don't know how to like manage their people. It's just sort of a hodgepodge of different crazy beliefs. They don't clean anything. There's a lot of bad things about India. And I think India could be great one day. But the way they become great is not by suckling on the lifeblood of first world countries, but upping their own game. Create your own thing, and then we can talk about being partners. I don't know why Trump even worries about India going to China. Cool, let them have them. Let China have them.
Yeah, I mean, mate, I will say to you, I'll go further. I spent last week 2 hours on the phone to Virgin Media's India tech call center, and trust me, after that telephone call, I was painting my face like Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando, and I was ready to head over there and go, "You've earned this. I'm coming for you now." That's it.
It's so wild. There's a YouTuber I follow who basically scams scammers. I'll find the link, and after the show, I'll put the link in there. He's actually pretty great. He's a programmer that has essentially figured out ways to keep these people on the phone forever. And he has these metrics where he goes like, if I can keep them on the phone for like 2 hours, that's 2 hours they couldn't be stealing from someone.
Yeah.
And so he's just doing the Lord's work, bro. And he's being rewarded for, producing those as videos, which is really brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, got to support that 100%.
So the thing is, this is what was actually happening. So now you know the whole story, you know everything that's going on. We need to talk about this because these are influencers that all of a sudden, the moment that tweet popped up, I'm telling you, the moment that tweet popped up, boom, influencer. The CCP would love for America to waste energy pressuring countries that aren't a threat. Don't take the bait.
Yeah.
Stand strong. Keep the pressure where it belongs on the regime actively working to undermine America's future. Fake news is trying to paint India as the enemy. Why? Because they have always loved and worked with Trump. Don't buy into their swamp tactics. If we make them an enemy, they will fall into the hands of the CCP. Again, CCP. The CCP runs legal surveillance up, blah, blah, blah. India buys oil legally. Okay, blah, blah. India isn't the problem. Push. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to go into every one of these, but the fact that almost 400 of these things popped up instantaneously in the same hour with almost identical talking points, dude.
So what you're saying, mate, is that you became a little bit suspicious when these popped up all at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Dude,
there,
within an
mate.
hour-long period, every post was about India all of a sudden. Like, how about this? What are the odds that all of these accounts just happen to be on at that exact same time?
Yeah.
Like, just that alone, let alone the talking points, let alone the fact that a lot of these accounts had already done hidden paid posts for Big Soda in response to Kennedy's anti-soda SNAP benefits plan. So if you're following a right-wing account because they're really good at owning the libs, or they do that thing where they put a picture of a girl with a bikini and American flag, is this what America is, question mark? These fucking stupid rage bait posts. I hate them so much. What would you do? It shows like a Chinese fighter. Shut up. Stop with these low effort, low quality. And I'm so mad that people fall for these things on a daily. They just fall for them. They're like, I would totally date her. Shut up, Jeremy. Go home. Like these people in the comments that don't know that they're being duped into engaging with another silly garbage post so that this company, this poster who is probably not even from this country can make pennies off of every one of these engagements. It's silly and gross. It's weird.
It's mad. It is mad. But can I just check with you? Me responding to a post that says that they're Sydney Sweeney, that's completely different though, isn't it?
No, it's different.
That's not connected. Yeah.
Whenever I see a Sydney Sweeney post, like, would you date her? Yes, I would. I know this is bait, but I have to make sure that everyone understands that I would. I need to creepily chat in the replies as quickly as possible as to my intentions with this wonderful woman.
Yes.
It's so weird.
Switching to fake account.
It's so weird, like seeing like someone like Matt Wallace, DC Drano, like accounts that I used to follow and think, oh, these accounts, they're probably pretty legit, right? How about this one, Defiant L's? India's always welcome Trump. Yeah, I've seen him a whole bunch. Community notes and violations. Man, I follow these guys all the time. This is not actually community notes. I follow them all the time. All of a sudden, I think it's hilarious how every one of these accounts are pretty much posting the same exact thing, and they all just happen to have just enough, at the very minimum amount of subscribers to be monetized. It's such a silly thing.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, it's never going to stop, though, is it? It's just going to keep. It's going to ramp up more and more.
Oh, and they're using the same image. The image with Trump looking all mean and the Indian flag. So dumb.
Yeah, just there's no originality to it either, is there? But there you go. Look, there's one with Modi there as well. Look,
there's Modi.
The Trump Modi handshake.
Yeah. Elijah Schaefer, come on, bro. Bro. I mean, I get it. Like these accounts want to make their money. I understand that. I understand taking a sponsor, but you need to understand as influencers that other people are also taking that money. So it's becoming very clear that you might be untrustworthy because your opinion can be purchased. And that's really important because I don't have less respect for you because you took a job, because you posted a paid post. Like, that's a sponsor. Cool, do your thing. I have less respect for you, though, that you hid that it was paid. That you go, I'm going to promote something that I don't necessarily believe, agree in, or have the same opinion of because I'm getting paid to do it. That makes me question everything you post. Every one of your opinions. Every one of your shares. I question it all now because now twice in a row, a lot of these accounts have gotten caught with their fingers in the fraudulent cookie jar. So,
well, this is no different than, you know, the Hollywood YouTube streamers that they go to the big Disney movie premieres and stuff. They get all the perks, and then they come out and it's a 10 out of 10. It's literally the best movie we've ever seen. You already know before they've even posted it, they're going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Right.
And you're already like, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to go and listen to the people on YouTube who are actually legitimate, that, you know, that will actually give it a proper scoring and a rating. This is no different. This is exactly what they're doing. And again, people will see through it eventually.
Right.
It's only a matter of time, isn't it?
I hope so. But, you know, let us know what you guys think. Do you recognize some of those accounts? Let me know. I did. I was actually following them.
Yeah.
I went and actually I unfollowed those accounts as soon as I saw them pop up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to follow and be served a bunch of tweets from people who are, you know, their opinions are shaped by the highest bidder.
Yeah.
All right. So before the next story, we got a couple super chats we need to address. Thank you, Mr. Chappie, for $5. He says, "What up, Brainiacs? Hi, John. Let's go."
Hey, good to see you, mate. Well, I hope you're having a good show tonight, and good to see you here again. You know, your wallet is never, ever drained, is it? You always put in a super chat. So thanks very much for doing that. Legend.
Yeah, thank you, my friend. And don't forget, we will be going to the members section in about an hour and 10. And that's where it gets real weird. We take our pants off. We talk about stuff that we wouldn't talk about here. And if you're not a member, you can become a member. But also, if you are a member, it'll automatically just shoot you over to the members section when this is done. So stick around for that. From Super Jones Bros. If you want a prime example of astroturfing, look up One Good Term. That guy is totally unhinged. No sane person talks about the same thing 5 years in a row. All right. We're going to have to look him up. All right. Let's do it. I'm doing it in real time, bro.
Let's do it.
One Good Term.
So I'm interested now to find out what exactly he is saying.
Is it at One Good Term? I think it is. Is this it? At One Good Term. And he's talking about face masks. He's talking about coof.
Okay.
Oh, he's just still talking about the coof, bro.
I've got an image of that guy that he's the one of the guys. Do you remember during the era where they would walk around with the face mask, but they'd have it on their chin?
Right.
And it's like they'd be in the supermarket with it on. Like, yeah, and it'd be like, one or the other, buddy. What's it going to be? There's no halfway house here. You either want it on or you don't. It's crazy.
Yeah, this guy is obsessed with it, bro. Like, look at this. You're right. He just posts about nothing but the coof. Damn, this guy's brain damaged, man. I feel a little sorry for him now.
Yeah, and Kevin Essenberg in the chat. If you ever want to send a super chat, there's a little $sign down at the bottom right hand corner of the chat. Click in there, and that will give you the option of sending in a super chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat, in the actual chat box, bottom right, a little $sign. All right. Well, too bad for this weirdo. I'll be praying for him because his brain is broken. But let's talk about, and this is a quick hot take sponsored by Dr. Pepper. We need to talk about Trump saying 600,000 Chinese students can come into the United States.
I mean, nothing possibly bad could go wrong with that whatsoever.
Nothing.
Could it?
Absolutely not. What can go wrong? This sounds like a great idea. Of course, it drew some MAGA backlash. This should draw backlash from anyone who's a citizen.
Yeah.
This is what it says. Donald Trump seemingly caught his loyalty conservative base off guard and sparked backlash by saying he would allow 600,000 Chinese students into the American universities. You know what's really funny? You didn't see those accounts defending this. I don't think the Trump team must not have paid them to talk about this. But then conversely, you don't, or, alternatively, you do not see that a lot of these accounts actually posted about this. So what if the Trump team sent that email, hey, don't talk about the Chinese thing, okay? I got something going on, bro. Because they didn't really talk about it either. A lot of those accounts that are taking ad money from Soda and India, they really didn't jump on this whole 600,000 Chinese student thing. I got to ask the question, how many of those accounts are actual Americans and how many are just Indian scammers? That's the question I have right now. All right, so this will be a departure from the Trump administration after he added new vetting for student visas, moved to a block foreign enrollment at Harvard, and expanded grounds for terminating international students' ability to study in the United States. And there's not much to it. Other than when I first saw this headline, I told you guys last week, I didn't see it. Literally, this is how it read for me. Trump saying 600,000 Chinese spies can come to the United States. That's what I read. I did not read students. I read spies. So I understand the MAGA backlash. What I don't understand, and this is the reason I even bring this up a week later, is that I noticed that a lot of the accounts that were posting all about how India is awesome and how Kennedy is wrong about Soda are completely deactivated when it comes to this exact topic. And you would think that 600 Chinese students coming to the United States at any moment would get some kind of reaction from these highly reactionary right-wing MAGA tweets.
Yeah, I would think that would be like a 5-alarm fire bell going off.
Right.
And there would be YouTube shows going off left, right, and center talking about it. There would be news shows going on a consistent basis talking about this is not acceptable. Because I don't know if you saw this week the actual footage from China with Putin there and the leader of North Korea, and they showed their military might, China.
Oh, is it on YouTube? Let's show it.
It's on YouTube, yeah, and it's the anniversary of obviously the when what was it, the what they call the Cultural Revolution began. But literally they're not hiding it. They're saying essentially they want to overtake the US.
Yeah, of course you do.
The dominant power in the world. So you would ask yourself, in a sane country, if that is what their leaders are saying, why would you allow 600,000 in to study?
Right.
You just wouldn't. Again, but then I'm from a country who basically they could turn up tomorrow with a blimmin', P90 pointed at me, and we'd go, "Come on in, welcome. How you doing?"
Right, yeah. Right now, it's very odd. The UK's response to foreign invaders, violent foreign invaders with weapons and death to the UK signs, are like, "Hey, what's up, mate? Let's get you some what do you guys? What's your favorite food there? The fish fingers, chips,
fish and chips.
Let's get some fish and chips, and we'll get you in a hotel room that a citizen in the UK couldn't afford, but we'll pay for it for you." It's wild, wild, bro.
Well, you will chuckle at it, mate. But we announced our new Home Secretary today that is going to deal with the boats. So, if later on you want to Google our new Home Secretary, you'll see just how much of a chance we've got of something actually being done, because it is comical.
Oh my god. Oh, that sort of reminds me of they changed the Department of Defense to the Department of War.
Yeah.
which everyone's like, oh, the peace president, huh? I'm like, guys, it's just a name change. Shut up.
Yeah.
This is literally him trying to get his base fired up. Like, for some reason, Trump is still running for office, even though he can't be president 3 times. I don't get it. But you can't really argue with results because in 8 months, he's done more than any president's done ever in 8 months. So I'll take it.
It's all part of his propaganda for adversaries as well, isn't
right,
it? You know,
yeah. It's also
Department
threatening
of
to
War.
them. Right.
Yeah, exactly. You know, look, you've done your display about with all your military equipment. This is what I'm saying to you. Don't mess with the United States of America.
Yeah, it's not the Department of Defense. We're the Department of War. Come get some, bro.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
No, you're completely right. And like the Department of War thing is primarily for people that mean to do us harm. Does the name change matter? No. Does the strategies they employ matter? No. Like they're not going to change anything about what they do. It's still the Department of Defense. They're just making it known to some of these other countries that we're ready to throw down. This is no longer a passive administration.
Yeah, I will say, mate, I think to begin with, I felt Trump was naive with regard to Putin. But I actually think Trump is coming round to the fact now that Putin is messing him about. And I think it's going to get to a point in the not too distant future where Trump calls it. That's what I can see happening, essentially, because I think the whole Ukraine thing that's going on, whether you want the war or whether you don't, I think Putin keeps stringing him, you know, the US on about peace deals and everything for so long. I think Trump's going to get to the point where he's going to go, no, okay, that's expired. You pissed me about too much now. Now we're going to crack on with something.
Right.
You know, selling arms to the EU so they can supply them to Ukraine. That could happen because you still make money out of it and the Ukraine still get the weapons. I could see that happening very soon because I don't think he's going to get played for much longer.
Yeah. I hate saying I don't care about the Ukrainian-Russian war because I don't want to be callous toward like Ukrainian people. But if I'm going to be honest, I just wish that we weren't involved. And does that mean that Russia would just take over Ukraine? Yeah, I guess so. I'm sorry, it sucks, but like that's all of human history. That's sort of the way it works, you know.
And we have a prime minister he came in and he's basically saying to us, we are now gearing up for a war footing with Russia. It's like, oh yeah, how many of us agreed to that, mate?
Right.
You know, it will last 6 days. That's what they reckon if we went to war with Russia.
Well, the crazy thing is, also someone said in World War II it was called the War Department, which is cool. Thank you for that information. But what drives me nuts is the same people that are complaining always claiming that World War III is right around the corner and just hyper sort of reactionary, like we're next, you're about to get drafted. These are the same people that had no problem spitting in Putin's face and taking sides with Ukraine. Like, you are the people saying Trump is going to give us World War III. Well, all of you weirdos are lobbying to basically spit on Putin and these countries that we know are mentally unstable and warlike. And instead of diplomacy, you want us to like destroy them in some way? You think that's an easy thing? I don't understand the concept. What do you expect to do? You piss off Putin, the guy who leads Russia. You piss off Xi Jinping, the guy who leads China. And these are the two world powers that can actually cause us trouble. And then you want us to do that, but then you also complain about it. I'm gonna pick a lane, man. You want World War III or you want diplomacy? You can't have both.
Well, what I always laugh about now, and this is me speaking as a Brit, right?
Putin. I don't know how to say his name.
Putin. Yeah, we call it Putin.
Putin on the Ritz.
Putin. Well, Putin or Putin.
Again, guys, I don't care about Putin.
Yeah,
or Xi Jinping or anyone.
With the Brits, right? the thing is, we've got politicians now, and we've got a prime minister who is basically saying we need to gear for war. We don't like what they're doing to Ukraine. We don't like the fact that Russia's he's a dictator. But yet, in the same token, you're doing in our country exactly what he does over there. So you're saying, let's criticize Russia when you're trying to curtail free speech in this country.
Right.
You know, the hypocrisy is off the scales. And the trouble is, you've got all these EU leaders at the moment, with a few exceptions. They're all corrupt. They're all rotten to the core. And you know, for me, and I can see where Trump's probably coming from. I don't know. I'm not in the rooms, but you get people coming and saying, give me $10 billion for arms. You know, where's the balance? Where's the record trail for that? For that the arms are actually getting where they're going from.
Right.
How do you know that money's getting to where it's meant to be and it's not being filtered into another area?
Oh yeah, that's the problem. The problem is you have the industrial military complex who is using this not as a way to protect the Ukrainians or fight back against Putin or any of that. They're using it to line their pockets. They're taking money from you, the taxpayers, that are really funding this nonsense. They're taking that money and lining their pockets, and they're using virtue signaling and stupid social justice warriors who have no idea how the real world works to sort of fund the propaganda so they can keep the war going. Because as long as there's war, the BlackRock and Vanguard and ICC and you start naming names here, they're making that money, baby. They're making all that money. It's going in and out of Putin. It's in and out of Ukraine. It's a one big incestual circle that has gone right back into the pockets of big war. And I don't really understand.
And they're the ones that rebuild Ukraine as well, make a fortune
and the same ones that will rebuild it once the war is over. Here's the deal, guys. I don't want war at all. I don't want World War III. I don't want war with Russia. I want everyone to mind their own fucking business and leave us alone. That's what I want. Get off my lawn. I'll do me. And if you want to have a good partnership, then there needs to be a little give and take. I'm not going to give you more and you're going to give me less just because you're a poor country. That's a you problem, not a me problem. But and I think that Putin's evil, and I think that Xi Jinping's evil, and I hate the way they run their countries. But again, not our problem. It's not.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, you know, you've got the problem. You're the USA, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but the USA, the people in the USA are similar. The majority is similar to how we are in the UK, where in the UK, Labour and Starmer get in. They basically cut off winter fuel payments for pensioners because they say we can't afford it. We've got no money. Zelensky turns up from Ukraine, and then he announces outside number 10. He goes, "Oh, and we're now giving them $100 million, you know, to carry on the war with Russia." So hang on a minute. On one side, you're saying you can't afford to pay winter fuel payments to keep pensioners warm over the winter period so they don't die. But on the same token, you've suddenly managed to find over $100 million to give to Ukraine.
Yeah.
And you wonder why we're getting pissed about it. You know,
it drives me nuts. And when you bring up this point, well, these are different budgets, you know. This, they have a budget for this and a budget for that. I'm like, so hold up.
Yeah.
You're saying
it's a magic slush fund, basically.
Yeah, you got these slush funds over here. There's not enough money to keep people alive because the budget is dry. But you know all that sweet money in the war fund.
Yeah.
It's not possible for that money to go to the keep people alive money fund. So we need to use that and give it to other countries so that they can keep their people alive. Guys, you can transfer money between bank accounts, right? I don't understand this whole budgetary thing. Well, that's just the way it works. Well, it shouldn't be the way it works. If there's an overinflated budget for one thing and this other thing is suffering and causing people harm, then maybe you adjust those numbers a little bit, dude. This is not rocket science to me.
Well, the thing is, and again, you know, I won't go on it all night because I know we've got other stuff to talk about and I know you want to get on with it. But on one side of it, they're saying about, right, okay, if Russia take Ukraine, that will incentivize them to push on through the rest of Europe. It shows at the moment the difficulty Russia's having with just taking Ukraine. So if they then decided to take the rest of the Europe, yeah, that's when you do sort of step in and you get involved. But at the moment, a lot of people are in the mindset of, we need to fix the problems in our own country before we start trying to police and trying to get involved in other people's problems.
Yeah, I feel like
that's where we are.
We're just making it worse in the Ukraine. Like, we're making it worse. Like, oh no, Russia's going to invade, take this land back. Well, let me tell you exactly what happened here. Or not exactly, but close to it. Ukraine was not allowed to join, what's it called? The big
NATO. Yeah,
they weren't allowed to join NATO. They had an agreement with Russia, because that land used to be part of the Greater Russia, that they couldn't join NATO. And then they started talking about joining NATO, and they started applying to join NATO. And Russia decided they wanted to take back the land they thought was theirs before that happened, and that because the Ukraine had broken that agreement, that they were entitled to it. So had no one else gotten involved, right, there would have been some casualties for sure in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Russia would have gotten a little bigger. But not remotely the insane level of casualties and the insane loss of life, money, and time and effort that we've gotten trying to fight this. In fact, you've just made Putin and his thugs even more angry with you. So I don't, like, we should have just stayed out of it. Let them take their land. Let them get pushed around as the smaller country. Too bad. That's sad. So it sucks. Sucks for you. And then you would add less loss of life, less costs. And I don't understand why we thought we'd get involved in the first place. And then when you really think about it, you go, well, we didn't really decide that. It was during Biden's term is when we really got into it. And the industrial war machine wanted to get paid. They had not gone to war for a while, and they saw a perfect example for a proxy war with Russia, and they started amping it up. Next thing you know, Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, is posting up memes where his little Ukrainian X-wing is up against the Russian, dreadnought or whatever, and you're like, I get it, dude. I get it. You guys want to make money, but like, at what? At the cost of millions of people's lives? Why would you do that? Like, if everyone says Putin's evil, and I'm sure he is, I gotta tell you, I think the people over at BlackRock, some of those people might be even more evil.
Oh,
because they made the active choice to fund a proxy war they knew would kill 1 million people, and they're didn't
insidious.
Care. All right, it's insidious.
They I said to you before, the first meeting that Starmer had as Prime Minister was with what's his name from BlackRock and Bill Gates. They were the first two meetings he had. That doesn't sound sinister at all. I mean, that's Emperor Darth Sidious kind of shit.
Yeah, that is.
And I see Chris Horror in the chat asking about the monarchy. Doesn't the king do anything? The king can dissolve parliament, and effectively, if there's like a no confidence in the government. But the trouble we've got a king now who is ideologically captured. We've got a king that at Easter, he was talking about, in his speech, he also included the Muslim faith during his Easter speech.
Sharia.
Yeah. So he's not going to do anything. I mean, he is well known that he's a member of the World Economic Forum. So it's just not going to happen.
London has fallen, bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take some dramatic movement, much like MAGA, to swing that pendulum back the right way. And hopefully that happens. Sosa actually brings up a really good point here. We were just talking about their foreign influence, the industrial war machine, but even more insidious, in my opinion. I mean, maybe not as bad as 1 million people dying, but it's bad. Is what they're doing slowly over time, buying up single family homes. So, slowly, and this is actually something a lot of people don't understand. The percentage of single family homes, which is like your average home in the United States, and the land that it's on, slowly that percentage is creeping up to being corporate owned. In as early as the 80s, that started off as like 8%. And people worried about it then. They're like, oh my God, 8% of the Americans' homes are owned by these corporate corporations and the war machine and BlackRock and Vanguard. That's not good. Well, guys, in just 40 years, that 8% has now skyrocketed to almost 31%. We are close to a tipping point where most of America, literally most of the country, will effectively be owned by corporations that don't even call America their home, that file taxes in other countries in conjunction with America, but they would not call America their home when half the board of directors on these companies aren't even American. They're from other countries. So pretty soon we are getting close to the United States of America being 50% owned by effectively foreign international businesses. That is so terrifying to me.
That's the BlackRock plan. It's the same in the UK. They're buying up properties because they want people to just only be able to rent.
Right.
You know, you think about the immigration issue we've got over here now. You know, if BlackRock owned all of the properties, they could decide who they wanted to put into those properties. You would just get a notice to be booted out of your property, and that's it. You know, if you're renting,
what's it called?
That's what's happening.
In the United States, it's called, there's an actual word for it. It's called eminent domain, I think.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, the government can do that. Obviously, BlackRock can't do that, right? But you know what BlackRock could do? It's called eminent domain, yeah. So the government's legal power to take private property for public use, even without the owner's consent, provided it just pays compensation. Oh my God!
But they can give notice. They can give notice.
Yeah, they can give notice, and
you've got 3 months.
They can pay you they give you the average compensation for that home, and you walk away. You don't have any choice. The thing is, though, what a company can do is they can go to the government, local government, and go, I want to build a stadium here, and that will attract so many people to your city and your state. And if I build a stadium, you will get more money over time from all the revenue and taxes and jobs that this will bring. So there's 2 things I need you to do, government. I need you to, you need to pay for at least 60% of the stadium out of taxpayer dollars because you're going to benefit long term. And the land that I want to build it on, all these houses, we need them. Yeah. And the government, even though it's public use, it's not necessarily needed. It's not something that is required, but they can use eminent domain to then take up that property, effectively steal it for bottom dollar prices, hand it over to another company, completely disconnected from our local government, build that stadium with mostly out of our pockets money. So they're stealing our land, stealing our money to build the stadium, and then they charge us to go to that stadium. And you're like, how is this legal? How is this okay? And it's all totally legal the way they do it.
But again, this is, you know, I used to laugh about it, but when I used to watch the Netflix series Daredevil and the Kingpin, he was doing that. He was literally getting people out of their apartments to do just this. And this is what's happening. It does happen, and it will happen more and more as it goes on.
Look, I sort of understand like infrastructure. Like, let's say you're building a freeway and there's some dude's house in like the middle of the freeway, and you're like, bro, like, I get it. Like, you don't want to leave your house that you were born into, but this is where the freeway's going. Like, do we go around you? I understand eminent domain there when there's a stubborn holdout and even though I still think it's wrong, I get it. But I don't understand when you go, well, we want to build a elementary school here. Build it somewhere else, dude. Oh, we want to build build it with land that you can legally purchase. The fact that like there was an entire tract of homes in Villa Park, California, where I live, that were ripped up to build a school, right, a middle school. Well, here's the bullshit, guys. There was a middle school 3 blocks down the road. There was already a middle school in this exact area. They wanted to build another middle school that was for private. What's it called? Something with a C. It's sort of like a charter school. So
Okay.
a charter school that was like part public, so they can use public funds and eminent domain to basically steal people's homes in the middle of Villa Park, California, which is one of the most wealthiest parts of Orange County. So they basically effectively stole those homes, stole those lands to build a charter school that was part public, just public enough to get to be able to steal that land and those homes. And there was a middle school 3 blocks the other way that was a public school. So there is plenty of corrupt ways that this eminent domain nonsense is being utilized. I couldn't even imagine in the UK where you have less freedom to like really fight back against these injustices.
Oh yeah, I mean it's gonna happen more and more. I think, you know, I'm at an age now where, and I see people a lot younger. I can't afford my own home. I just can't do it.
I can't afford my home.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. You know, so
the only way I can afford a home is if I leave where I live. So if I leave the place if I leave the town that my kids are born into, that where I met with my wife, where I was raised, if I leave here where my child's doctors are, where my wife's, you know, job is, where my community is, if I leave here, then maybe I can buy a house in another state where I have no support system, I have no doctors, I can risk my children's health, I can risk their development over time, and I can do that. And I could. But a lot of people, if I left here, would suffer. People that depend on me to work and live, you know, family and friends and people that I work with at the community center, like they would really have a hard time without me being here. And more importantly is that my kid who has a heart condition, her doctor's here. And if you know anything about chronic conditions, you don't trade up. When you have a doctor that saved your life 3 times, you don't trade to another doctor. That's your doctor until that doctor passes away. Bottom line.
Yeah.
So I can't leave. I just can't leave. And that means I can't buy my own home. And there was a time where I made plenty of money. I don't do it now, but there was a time where I did make plenty of money to do so, and I still couldn't afford my own home because I live in a state that is just so unbelievably expensive that it's just never going to happen for me.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, I saw something the other day about the US, and there was an article, and it was images from the 1950s, and they were talking about, you know, the family unit. You know, the husband went to work, 1 salary, you know, a nice big house, you know, and someone was saying, how did it go so wrong? You know, and that was the 50s where you could do that. You know, now you've got you could have 2 parents working. You still can't afford a home.
Well,
you know,
bro, that you need to blame this a little bit on Rockefeller and Edison. Like, there was a moment in time where they wanted to double the amount of people working for half the price, and they came up with this insidious plan. I love that word today. Where he goes, let's convince women to burn their bras. Let's convince women to leave their home and join the workforce. And, you know, World War II helped in that too, because people were back and forth. But even after that, let's convince women that, you know, feminism is their legacy. It's their right, and it is. Hey, being completely even and on the same, you know, terms, rights when it comes to men. It's good. It's good. No problem with that.
Yeah.
But you convince women that being a mother wasn't feminine.
Enough.
It wasn't a feminist thing to do. Being a wife wasn't good enough, like you said. And that in order to be powerful, they need to leave the home, leave motherhood, and join the workforce. And this is what happened is they joined the workforce, but the pay didn't move. Right? Instead, over time, it evened out. So now both parents are working. You're paying for someone to watch your kids, aka a public school. And that public school is basically a factory for workers. You literally go to school/work at 8. You get a 15-minute recess /lunch break. Then you get a 30-minute lunch/lunch, and another 15-minute recess/break. And then you go home, and your teachers or your bosses hound you to do extra work on the off hours. This is basically teaching kids how to be employees. So then you take your kids to those schools where the public is raising your kids for the time you're at work, and you and your wife are working, but the amount of money that was on average that was going up for people being paid, like the wage gain, stalled out. For almost 25 years, just stalled out. The reason it stalled out was so that slowly and surely they can be paying the same for two people that they once were for one. And that really happened. And now, 80 years later, we're still doing it. And everyone just sort of buys it. That, you go to school, and then you go to college. So you go to state-ran school that teaches me how to be a good slave, and then go to a college somewhere. If I can't afford it, I can join the military, and the military will help me pay for my state-run college, and I'll get an approved job where the information that I learn will be completely and totally useless within 3 years, but then that will help me get a good job. But then because I spent $187,000 on student loans, I will have to work that job for at least 15 years for next to nothing to pay back my student loans. And then maybe by the time I'm 50 years old, I can have a good life.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It's...
you don't need to go to school.
It's a dark
world. If you want to go to school. But you know what? If you want to be a plumber, don't go to college. Save your money.
Always going to need plumbers.
Go save your money and go get a job as an apprentice, or go to a trade school. And I tell you what, plumbers make a whole lot more money than a lot of these people with Ivy League educations who only got a job that barely pays their student loans.
Just don't go into a career doing YouTube reviews of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, because trust me, there's no money in it, everybody. There's a lot of whiskey, but there's no money in it.
Yep. Thank you, Chris Hoare. Feminism was invented by man, and that's exactly the truth. Yeah. Listen, if you're a woman and you have been lied to that being a mother and raising the next generation of humans isn't the most noble thing you can do, come on, bro. Come on.
Madness.
Speaking of noble humans, guess what, guys? It's about that time. Shane's going to be joining us. Let me see if I can get him in here real quick. Hold up.
He's the best of the best, everybody.
Speaking of noble humans, let me see if I can get this transition right now. Speaking of noble humans, everyone, Shane Montgomery. Woo!
So since I'm over 50, does that mean I'm already screwed? I was listening to the 50 thing.
I mean, look, you left the military and you were like, this isn't working out. I think you figured it out pretty quick. I feel like, being an entrepreneur is a massive risk. And sure, a lot of people aren't going to make it. It's great. But I would rather die on my feet than die on my knees in a basement somewhere in the mailroom trying to pay off a $200,000 student loan where I'm only ever paying off the interest because I need to eat Hot Pockets. Like, you know what? Right. Fine. You know, if I fail, I fail. And that's fine. I'll fail on my feet. I refuse to die in your sweaty basement paying back my interest for the rest of my life. Screw off.
Hey, don't bring up my basement. Don't bring up my sweaty basement.
And look, if it gets real bad, you guys, there's always OnlyFans.
Yeah, and I'll get about £1 for that.
It would be a funny joke for us, but maybe John could pull off OnlyFans.
Maybe John.
Well,
maybe John.
I think if I went on to OnlyFans, I think that I would probably make OnlyFans go bust within a week if I started on there. People would be asking for record refunds, I think.
That's so funny.
All right. Did we already talk about Peacemaker?
No, we're about to talk about Peacemaker. Then we're going to talk about Patrick Bet David, my dude.
Excellent. I'm glad I made it for this part of the show. And thank you guys for everybody who gave me the warm welcome in. I appreciate you guys. I'm happy to be here. Our soccer team lost 17-0 today. It was a brutal thrashing.
That's rough.
And this is why I play football. That's all I'm just gonna say. That's it.
Are they top of the league, or are they? Is it a cup game, or
They must be. They must be. They were the most terrifying 12 and 13-year-old kids I have ever seen. So it was a tough day. Tough day for the losing squad, but we live to fight another day.
So I've been thinking all week, guys, and I wanted to bring this up to you. I've actually been searching this week to find out if there is actually a thing called bird blindness. And I haven't been able to find it yet. But I really want it to be real. I really do. You know, I want a guy to go around and think a golden eagle's a duck. I really want that to happen.
So that was really funny in Peacemaker when he goes, oh, by the way, I was supposed to do a review, and I was so busy editing this new podcast video that I haven't had time, or any motivation, to be honest. But if I had done it, I would have opened up with the scene where he still, even being told that it was an eagle, was still telling his superior that it was a super duck. Like, the bird blindness thing is really funny. And anyone saying otherwise, like, oh, that's silly. It's not even that funny. It is funny.
It's just funny. Where he's there in that scene where he says, what is it, at the hospital? He goes, your cruel joke put titties in hospital.
Yeah, that made me laugh.
Yeah, I love the whichever writer came up with it. And I don't know if it was James Gunn or somebody, but somebody was like, what do you guys think about bird blindness? And like, what? And Tim Meadows came in and just, only Tim Meadows, I think, could have delivered that like that.
He really
He's
did.
the star. He is the star of the series.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So someone said, Matt said they're setting him up to be like the next, Nick Fury, which is pretty funny considering his last name is like Fleury.
Fleury, yeah.
If they make Tim Meadows the Nick Fury character, I will so much love that. That would be the best thing ever, bro.
A comedic Nick Fury.
Yes.
Interrogations with villains, and he's going around like rubbing their shoulders.
Yeah. So in this episode, we opened up basically with Chris actually in the alternate version. The Peacemaker he killed. Interesting enough, in this universe, he dresses like a Kardashian, A, and B, his brother didn't know who the Kardashians were. Guess what, guys?
Yeah.
Already a better universe.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, what's funny, since you gave it away, what's going to happen in this universe, now I'm watching for it and waiting for it, and so I won't say what it is because unless maybe some of these people figured it out. But now I'm just waiting for that moment when I'm going to realize what this universe really is.
Wait,
and
did I give it away?
In this episode, but yeah.
Did I give it away?
Yes, when we talked about racism, remember?
I didn't.
And
okay, so if that's what you got, if you took what I said and said you gave it away, there's so much more than that. Wait till you get to it.
Okay, because what it seemed to me like what you said was, imagine why these racist dudes would be here and yet nobody else. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, to me, that means that we're going to find out that this is a super racist universe.
Right.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Sort of.
I'll be back in a sec.
By the way, this is John. This is John's profile picture when he turns his camera off.
Yeah.
So when John turns his cameras off, which is off right now, it's going to be him in cat ears headphones in a UK street somewhere.
I like that. That is good.
Yeah, that's the new profile picture for John.
We're getting creative on this show. I like it.
John got used to pulling off his camera because you can do that on StreamYards, but you can't do that here. So I had to make a picture just for him.
It's a punishment on this when you stream with us and you turn off your camera. I believe.
Yeah. All right. So the thing about this Peacemaker though is I didn't try to spoil anything when I said that. I did make the observation.
Yeah.
That I suppose that we're in for it. I get it. However, there's a lot more to it than what you just said. So
okay, all right, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's not.
I think it's actually a pretty good idea, honestly.
There's a pretty cool reveal, and I'm not going to reveal what that is, but it's actually way bigger than what you gleaned from our last conversation.
Okay. Like Hitler's the president or something? Hitler's son?
I don't know.
Like Brian doesn't want to say nothing. Like and I shouldn't ask questions. I really am setting myself up.
Just pay it. Like if you're paying attention to that universe.
Yeah. All I can tell you is Chris feels like a hero for the first time. Like he's been a hero all this time, but in this episode, he actually feels like one. I think for the first time.
Right.
He's appreciated for his efforts.
John, are you there? No, he's not. Okay.
I heard him
can you see me now?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, sorry, it was playing up. Sorry, the Elgato face cam link seems to throw me out every week now. I've got to get to the bottom of it. I don't know why.
John, Shane has that problem.
I have had that problem as well.
So the thing about this, though, this new universe is very interesting. And I think, Shane, you actually called it when you said the hardcore in this universe is going to have to be like pretty much a complete opposite of what she is in her universe. And coincidentally, so is Rick Flag Jr. So Rick Flag, the guy who killed in the Suicide Squad, is pretty much the opposite of who he is in their universe, or he was.
He's not nearly as cool.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Bit Weasley and cowardly from what I've seen so far, isn't he? You know.
Now, hardcore, this version of hardcore is definitely more enamored with our Peacemaker because the edges that she didn't like about her Peacemaker are not there on ours. And she's seeing like a new upgraded version of Chris, which is sort of rad. And then when the terrorist people, which I thought it was funny how they were using words that like, and we don't know whether or not they were actually using words that he couldn't understand that sounded like nonsense, or whether or not he had a concussion, which is sort of funny. You don't know, did he have a concussion and those are the words he heard? Or are those actual words that they use in that universe? And I love that as the audience, we legitimately don't know. That's great. Like it could go either way. Well,
yeah.
And then he basically goes with no suit and his Kim Kardashian silk shirt, and he does what Peacemaker does, and he violently dispatches of these criminals before his brother showed up, who I'm actually falling in love with. His brother's awesome. His brother seems like such a cool guy. It's going to hurt real bad if he ends up being like a racist asshole, you know?
Yeah, that's coming, isn't it? That is coming.
I feel like it's coming.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying if that happens, that's going to suck because I'm starting.
Listen, you're not allowed to say if when you've already seen it. This is the problem with you and already watching things in advance. The if word doesn't exist if you've seen it already.
I'm so glad we're coming to the end of my screeners. Because I'm tired every week with you guys. I can't speak about the show.
Star Trek Picard season 3, that was hell to get.
Oh, dude, it was hell. When Shay and I had watched the entire series 3 months before with the creator, we had all of his thoughts. It was a fan's dream come true, and we couldn't talk.
Do you know what, guys? I'm glad I didn't know you at that time, because if I was doing stuff with you, you both would have broken me with that, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't have got through it.
No, there were some people that we worked with that we just pretty much broke them. We're like, yeah, we're just going to tell you what happens. I don't know. Matt was like, no, don't. No, you have to hear this, bro. No, stop.
Yeah. I was going to say the episode with what people are wearing, like the women, they're almost wearing sort of like almost 50s era style dresses.
Yeah, it's conservative.
Yeah,
conservative trad wife kind of stuff. They all
almost like the 60s never happened here.
What's interesting though, we do get that scene though where the chick flashes him. That's not a very 60s thing, right?
I missed that. How did I miss that?
How do you miss these things?
Yeah, because
so he's writing his peace cycle. He's writing his peace cycle, right? And he looks to the left, and some chick, she's wearing like the sort of the poodle skirt and the sweater or whatever it was. Like she's looks like she's wearing something that's from the 50s, but she just literally just like flashes Peacemaker. He's like best universe ever. Yeah,
yeah. Because it's funny because just before that he turns one way and the kid's in the car. Peacemaker, I love you, and then he's like, yeah, thanks, little boy, and he's like, he starts crying, doesn't he? He goes, little bit much like that, and then he turns to the other side, and then she gets him out like that.
I must have taken a drink or something when that happens.
And then he does the wheelie, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's almost like a mix-up between the two, isn't it? Conservative yet not.
Yeah.
So
conservative, but there's still plenty of debauchery, because they actually talk about. His brother talks about that Peacemaker having a problem with drugs and alcohol and sex. He's like, oh, I hope you're just hangover from booze, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that Peacemaker has a habit of disappearing and going on benders. Apparently that Peacemaker was sort of a dick to a lot of people.
You know, what it seems to me is like maybe Hitler never lost, maybe Hitler won the war in this universe, because if you notice, there are no people of color in that. I looked for it. There were none.
No. And what is it the terrorists are called? Isn't it? Are they the Liberty?
Sons of Liberty.
Sons of Liberty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
look, if you follow the comics, you can spoil yourself right now, but I'll just tell you that.
Yeah.
Like, if you follow the comics and you go look them up in the comics, you'll pretty much know one of the twists this season. So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't go look up that group in the comics.
Cool. You know I'm going to do that now, though, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
Anytime you say don't do something.
The moment I said it, I realized that John's 100% going to go look that up right now. But this universe overall, you know, it seems like a better universe, to be honest. Like, hey, man, Hardcourt is sweeter, softer. She seems to be more, into Chris. She's just, I know this is not his Hardcourt, but it would be hard to not look at this person and be like, damn, this is the kind of Hardcourt that I would like to hang out with. She's not going to beat me up or call me a pussy, you know?
I thought that this was going to be like when he started going hard after the terrorists, it almost thought, I'm like, is this overkill for this universe? Like for a moment, I thought he was like violently killing people, and like maybe that's something they don't do here, right? Because the bad guys didn't seem to be handling it well. Like they were surprised at how hard he was coming at them.
Right.
So like I don't know if that's going to be a big surprise or not. But
well, then his brother just like burst through that helicopter.
Until that moment, I was like, okay, all right, that's.
And then it comes down, and like everyone's shocked that he doesn't have his like costume, right? That he just did it solo. Apparently, Peacemaker probably uses his costume a lot. Well, like I love the way him and his brother react to each other. Like they seem like bros. It's such good chemistry. They're like, "You got him? I got him, bro." Like, "Oh yeah, dude." I was like, that is just if it's gonna hurt so bad if that guy's an asshole. You know,
I also like the fact that Peacemaker, he's not overly intelligent. He's not thinking too much, because literally he just hears terrorists, you know, sees him with the woman held hostage, and he goes in to kill him. He doesn't ask questions,
right?
Yes,
you know, and I think that's going to get to a point later in the season where he's going to be like, okay, I screwed up here. You know, these are people I should have been helping. I should have thought about what I was doing before I went in through the window.
Yeah, he's not paying attention. He's not paying attention.
Trying to impress Hardcourt as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That was part of it.
I don't think Peacemaker is that smart. I think he's sort of a dumb jock, just like he's portrayed.
Yeah.
Almost childlike in his ignorance. I think he wants to be a good guy. He wants to be the good guy. He wants to be the hero, but he doesn't always know how to go around it. He was raised really poorly by an extremely bad man. He was used and abused by his government, treated poorly by almost everyone growing up and everyone in his adult life. And now he's found a group that is honest with him, that wants him to be genuine, but they also don't want him to be super genuine, because his actual genuine authentic self is sort of a dick, or is a dick. So you have this childlike sort of ignorant person who wants to be the good guy but doesn't really know how to do it, that needs guidance. Like, you know what Peacemaker needs? He needs a legitimate mentor. And he has yet to find a single person that will treat him as what? As that.
Now he thinks it's his brother, and that's going to have, like you were saying, Shane, that's going to come back on him.
Now it is his brother. And like he probably feels sorry for himself, because that's the brother he could have had he not accidentally killed him when he was a kid.
Yeah, and again, you have that scene, don't you, where they're together and he's saying, "Look, I'm your big brother. I'm always going to be here and take care of you, look after you." I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said when they're drinking, back at the house. So you're right. That's going to have a massive emotional stake. Is he going to have to kill his brother again, like he accidentally did in season 1? Yeah,
and I like to believe that the way this is going to turn out is he's going to fall in love with his family, then he's going to find out the truth, then he's going to have to stop them. And what he's going to come, his ultimate realization, I think, at the end of the season is going to be like, all the bad things that happened to me happened for a reason and made me the man I am today. And I'm a better man as a result of it. And maybe his brother dying and all those things happening was actually a good thing, for him personally.
Yeah. So his brother dying, his father disowning him, him being attached to the military, even though he was used and abused by that system, but the guardrails they sort of put in place, him eventually finding the 11th Street kids, people that will call him out on his shit and try to get him to be a better person. Ultimately, he is better off for all these horrible things that happened to him, because you take away all those trials, all those tribulations, and the Peacemaker in this world is not the hero anymore. He's the bad guy.
Yeah,
true. I also believe that the intro song and dance is working on me. Like, I felt myself a little more engaged and enjoying it a little more. I don't know what it is about James Gunn music. And I think I recall from the first time I watched Peacemaker season 1, I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like when that intro happened. But now as I'm really watching the intro again, I'm starting to dig the music, the timing of when things are happening. And I realize there's 2 harcourts in the intro. I kept wondering, why are there 2 harcourts? Well, it's because the second harcourt is from the new universe.
Right.
So it's getting better, guys. It's getting better.
Do you think we're also going to get a moment where you have our universe harcourt goes over and meets Rick Flag from the other universe? Do you think that's going to happen? Because the reason I ask it is because you had that backstory scene at the beginning of this episode as well. So that's also got to play out at some point. So I just thought to myself, are they going to meet each other? Then eventually she'll realize actually it's Peacemaker she wants to be with.
Oh, maybe. I'm hoping she meets herself from that other universe and realizes that she can be a different person. Maybe that version of herself is a little more put together, whatever, even though it's a weird universe. Maybe she can forgive herself, because this harcourt in our universe, she's really coming through it. She's a different person than season 1.
Yeah, she's totally broken.
Totally broken.
Yeah.
In every way, she's broken. Side note, guys, and I don't understand why James Gunn does this, but why is it that in every movie he puts his wife, or TV show he puts his wife in, he makes sure that she sleeps with the protagonist?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Leading lady.
Why did he put an orgy scene in? There's a lot of questions, James Gunn, and I don't want to ask those questions.
It's so weird though. Like in every one, she's got to sleep with the leading man, even if it's an alternate universe version. Like, oh my god, I would have a problem with that. I'm just saying.
Maybe that's the way he rolls, bro.
Oh, maybe hardcore. Maybe the actress is like, listen, can you please write that sex scene between me and Frank Grillo, please? It's necessary. It's necessary for the role. I need this for my character.
So what you're saying is what I need to do is get a role in a James Gunn movie or show.
Yeah,
and I'm good.
Leading man, and you're pretty much guaranteed a night with hardcore.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Michael Rooker was in this episode, by the way.
Yeah, that part wasn't that funny until he goes, and any other eagles in the area. That's when I realized that the eagle hunter is not like a professional. He just really hates eagles.
He's a masochist of eagles.
Right. Yeah. That actually became fun. Originally, I was like, why is Michael Rooker in this right now? But then it worked. And I think we're going to see Eagly own that dude hard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Where he says as well, he goes, and we'll kill other eagles as well. And she goes, no, just this eagle.
No. I like how Argus is not stupid right now.
Yeah.
Like they seem to like they know what they're doing, and that they're not mustache twirling villains either. They're sort of like you believe that they believe that what they're doing is on the right side of morality right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that they're an intelligence organization filled with maybe slightly broken people, but they're trying to do the right thing in a way that's smart and good for the greater good. That's the Argus I want. I didn't like the Argus that the DCEU invented, where they're just evil, masquerading as government. I didn't like that. It didn't feel like, I know Amanda Waller's the bad guy. I get it. But in the comics, there was moments where she was the good guy because her motivations weren't about her own personal gain, but about the greater good. And in the greater good, sometimes you got to break some eggs.
Yeah, she's working on every contingency, isn't she? You know, and there's like in the comic books, where she decides to take out President Luthor at one point, because for the greater good.
And
so
I get it. It's like if you tangentially read those comics, she seems like the bad guy. But if you read a lot, really read into her, she's not really the bad guy. She has a selfish streak, but most of what she does is more of a greater good kind of thing. And sometimes that means that what they have to do is villainous.
She's a patriot that she won't let anyone get in her way.
Right. What do they say? Like sometimes good men have to do bad things for good reasons. And basically Amanda Waller is that. Or she would like to think she's that, She crosses the line though, obviously.
I like this Argus. I mean, I want titties to pull through, to be honest with you, because I want more scenes with the interplay between them. It would just be brilliant.
I love that like Titties barely has any speaking lines whatsoever, and she has now broken out as one of those characters that everyone is talking about. She has almost no lines. She has 3 minutes of footage tops, but that's all anyone talks about right now.
It's her reaction to being called titties. That's what it is. The way she reacts to it, it's like, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
great. But guys, I know you mentioned it briefly, but just the hospital scene when he's talking about they were attacked by a psychopathic duck. It's just,
you told me it was a duck. I told you it was an eagle.
Yeah, even when he tells him it's an eagle, he still says the wrong thing. It's really funny.
How many takes do you think they had to do for that scene? Because he's so funny, isn't he?
It was so funny too when he's like superpowered. And he goes, and it's not even superpowered; it's a regular eagle. he's like, why was he there? Because he lives there. Economos' whole vibe is like, it's a regular eagle that lives in the house. How is this so hard for you to understand? Like, Eagly is not superpowered. He has no super. He's just an eagle, and they're just dumb. Like he got the drop on him, dude.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, this
Vigilante
scene right
taking off his trousers, taking off the trousers in the bath as well at the end.
Yeah, I love that. That's so funny. He so desperately wants to have a friend.
Yeah. His brother greeting him. Like, I see the chemistry between these two are great, dude. It's great. By the way, I would like to mention that Shane is totally right. There isn't a single person of color that isn't. Every single person in this universe is white. If that is not
massive red flag,
a red flag. And look, guys, I like white people. I'm white. Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying that in an alternate universe where every character is the same race, something happened.
Even the bad guys were white.
Even the bad guys
were white. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that doesn't make any sense unless it's part of the story. Right. I haven't seen this much white on screen since A White Christmas in 1956. Look at this. Every character is just white. White guy, white guy, white girl, white guy, white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the Sons of Liberty. I thought it was great. The way they almost were like shocked at the level of violence Peacemaker was capable of. And I like what you said, Shane, how maybe their Peacemaker is they're not used to the Peacemaker being that violent with them,
Right.
Maybe he's more like, imagine if Superman, like that was your superhero, and like he responds by gently wrapping you up, in some steel or whatever, saying "Don't do that, citizen" or whatever, and running away. But instead, you get a Homelander shows up and just starts blasting people with, just murdering your friends. Like, imagine, like, whoa, these are not the rules we agreed to.
So I've become obsessed with height because of Peacemaker's brother. I just did not realize in real life how tall that man was. So I actually went back and I'm like looking at the Office, like actors' heights and stuff. Well, first off, Economos. Steve Agee, who plays Economos, that dude's 6'5".
Right.
Okay.
Blimey.
So the guy who plays Peacemaker's brother is 6'4". All right. But I went to the Office and I'm like, a bunch of those people were super tall. Like John Krasinski's like 6'3". Right. So there's a reason why all this height is so weird. John Cena's 6'1", by the way. Okay. I'm done on height. I just had to share that.
And is Tim Meadows 4'3"? Look at this comparison, bro.
I'm very short.
Yeah, look, that's my kind of height.
Bro, you got look Economos 6'5". Tim Meadows is almost half the size.
5'8". Tim Meadows.
Oh my God, it's very evident, bro. Jeez, look at that. That's crazy.
He's a monster.
Look at this. Look how short he is in comparison. That's crazy.
But between those two, I was just waiting for the next thing to be said that was probably going to make me laugh. Because, like you say, Tim Meadows with the straight face, it's just, there's something he's going to do that's going to set me off, and there's more to come, I think. You know, it's just great. He really is the star of the series for me at the moment. It's and I know it's a Peacemaker show, but it's just a great addition to the show, I think.
Right.
Well, I found myself wanting more humor in this episode than we got. Now, I know they had to forward the story and we couldn't, sit back. But they would be smart to give Meadows and Economos like a little bit of something, every episode. That would be fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it'd be smart.
I wonder if we'll ever see this universe version that we're in, that he's gone to. Their version of that would be cool.
I don't think you will. I don't think his bloodline made it.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah. I'm just being honest with you guys. I don't think I made it.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's enough.
The whole time we thought we were going to visit the Superman universe. This is what had me messed up about this show. And I'm still not happy that this show was retconned, by the way. I was hoping that we would take the Peacemaker universe, go into the new Superman universe. But
yes,
the current Peacemaker universe is the new Superman universe. And now we're just visiting an alternate universe. If anybody's following that.
Right. And the old Peacemaker was a completely different universe.
Okay. But it's been retconned to be the same universe as Superman. Because the DCEU is not the same as the DCU.
Yeah. The DCEU is in one of those doors in his quantum unfolding chamber.
No, I don't think so. You think so?
I do think so.
No, because he said he retconned it. See, that would be great if that was the case.
I don't care what James Gunn says on Threads or whatever. It's what happens on screen.
All right. I'll wait for it.
Because he says a lot of weird stuff on Threads that never actually pan out. If you want to be a fan of DC, you should stop watching and listening to what James Gunn is saying. He just talks too much, man.
See, I don't know now whether, because of what you've seen, Brian, I don't know whether you're just trying to throw me off now or whether you're actually talking sense, because you've got that devious look in your eyes that you normally have when you do stuff like this.
It's you ain't wrong, dude.
Devious.
All right.
Oh my gosh, this woman. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to talk about South Park, but we're out of time. I would rather talk about Patrick instead of South Park. I'll tell you this. In my hot take moment sponsored by Dr. Pepper, South Park was once again sort of the same as we've seen every week. They somehow take a really good story and then wrap in Trump, which is weird. Like, what a cool idea with the weird mystery boxes. My kids used to spend a ridiculous amount of money on mystery things to open up these toys. It's really funny that you tie the mystery box to this TikTok about, this TikTok culture where they're sacrificing them and it's demonic. All of this is hilarious. Jesus is the counselor of the school. This is all funny. All great. And what do they do immediately, Shane? Make it about Trump.
This is the season for it, bro.
It's so weird. You were on a roll.
Something happened. I'm telling you, they didn't really give a shit that much about Trump before. Something has happened that has really ratcheted them up, and I'm actually curious. I'd love for them to come out and say why they're so pissed about it, because I'm not sure what he's done specifically to their community or what they believe, because they're very libertarian, and I'm a little shocked that they're taking such a hard take on this. Although Trump lately has been acting a little more, what's the right word? I'm the president. What I say goes. He's had this little attitude about him, like that I can do anything I want. He's felt a little like vocally power hungry in some of the things he's been saying lately, and we're a year in. He needs to slow his roll a little bit. Continue making these great changes, but you cannot wave your magic wand and simply do whatever you want.
Shane, I have a question for you.
I found that out.
And then this is another hot take moment, okay? The boat carrying the drug dealers that they blew up. How do you feel about that?
Well,
give us your hot take moment, sponsored by drpepper.com.
Here's what's interesting, okay? So I did drug interdiction in the Caribbean in the 90s. So I got a nice little ribbon from doing that. And we used to either stop them and board them and take their drugs, or if we couldn't stop them, we blew up their boat. So not really a weird, abnormal thing that occurred, but because it's something we never really talked about or the way we did it, the way it's been released is it makes it almost seem like we did something crazy. Right. But that is not at all. That's fairly normal, actually.
Yeah, it's standard operating procedure.
Right. But it's been verbalized in such a way that is now given, I would argue, that is now given the other side ammunition against us, because the public's not aware that we typically deal with drugs. We literally have a radar that was built in Hawaii. It's called the Rother radar, relocatable over the horizon radar, which allows us to peer deep into South America so we can see when these drug shipments are coming north. We've been dealing with them for years, but Trump turned it into a media thing, which then allowed I don't know, what's the point? What's the point of squaring off your Johnson with Venezuela? They're nothing. They don't mean anything to us. We are badasses compared to them. I'm just not sure what he's getting at.
I'm with you on that. But what this did remind me of, though, was soft people have really sort of taken over the zeitgeist the last 25 years. And because of that, they've been allowed to be soft, think soft, feel soft, consider soft things, quote unquote progressive, because they don't know about the horrors that hard people have to do to keep them blissfully ignorant.
Right.
And that was the most evident when I saw the reaction to blowing up the cartel boat. I was like, you do not know what real men and women have to do to keep you so protected in your bubble. You don't get it.
You need me on that wall. You want me on that wall.
Yes, and I thought about that scene. You can't handle the truth. That is
speaking to country today, Caffey. Yep. That's all you did here.
That's exactly what I wanted. Thank you for getting there. Yeah, it's almost like that's the American movie. What's it called? Team America.
No.
He's like
sometimes dicks have to be assholes. Yeah.
Yeah. There's pussies, dicks, and assholes. Sometimes the dicks fuck the pussies, sure. But sometimes the dicks have to fuck the assholes to keep the pussies safe.
Greatest speech in history.
It made so much sense. It was so vulgar and gross and disgusting, but it made so much sense.
Yes.
Yeah, the dicks are not the best, but they keep the assholes away.
I love that. I need to watch that again this week.
Team
That-
America.
that
That's what it's called. Team
opening scene-
America.
Trump
yeah,
is your
the
dick
opening
in this
scene.
case.
Yeah,
Trump
I
is the
mean,
dick.
Yeah, he's
When-
the dick.
from an outsider looking in, when I see videos of people suffering from drug addiction in San Francisco, and I see people, in LA, that pops up on feeds every now and again and pops up on the news, and it's fentanyl and stuff. You're right. Sometimes hard things have to be done, because if you don't, that's going to continue and it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And then the people who don't like the people that go in and make the hard calls, they will then start blaming people for not making the hard calls when it's in an even worse state than it is now.
Yep.
So you got to do it. I mean, it's just it's rule 101, isn't it, for protecting your country?
Yeah, if no one makes the hard calls, you end up in situations where you're allowing violent weapon wielding immigrants into your country in such a vast amount that you can no longer protect the people that live there natively.
What are you trying to say, Brian?
We're going to have to figure out this whole thing with the police. We got to figure it out. This is the crux of our problem in the United States is that the police departments don't want to do their job because they're afraid they're going to get in trouble. So they're afraid to enforce it. And because we've had some, difficult to watch ways of taking down potentially bad people, maybe when we don't know they're bad, there's this weird gray area with police interactions with potential people breaking the law that people aren't comfortable watching. We're going to have to figure out how to better mitigate that so that we either understand, look, the police have to do what they have to do, or we need to come up with a different system. Because until that, the police are going to be afraid to do their jobs, and the people who are doing bad things are going to continue to do bad things. Where I live, I rarely ever see police even pulling anybody over anymore. I mean, there are so many people. It's like North Tijuana here. I swear to God, people park on the sidewalks. They do U-turns in the middle of the road. Like, nobody follows the rules at all, and nobody gets pulled over because police, they're afraid. So we definitely need to do something to change the rules, and that's what we need. If we want some serious change, it's going to have to happen, I think.
Yeah, well, case in point here, boys. Let me show you this before we go into the Patrick about David and close it up. This happened just recently, and I'm gonna mute it because it's hard to listen to. And be warning here, guys. This is gnarly. This woman, coming working at the sub shack or whatever she clothes, out costume uniform.
Is this the Ukrainian one?
Yeah, she's a refugee from the Ukraine. She now lives here and she's working. So that's her work uniform. So she's working, she gets on the train or the subway, whatever it's called. And this black dude, not even knowing her, just decides that, well, she needs to die today. And I'm going to spare you because I want to get you two. I want to get spammed on
It doesn't show it, by the way.
Oh, it doesn't?
No,
the one I saw did. Oh, yeah. Okay,
the one I saw, it stopped it right there.
Okay, good.
And now it goes to him leaving.
And there's blood on the knife. It's bad, you guys. It's bad. And you know what's crazy is there was a very interesting post that I actually agree with about this. And I don't agree entirely, but I agree that there's a massive difference between when something like this happens versus something like George Floyd. And this person said this should be a Rosa Parks moment for white people. White people should be in the streets. They should be upset about this. Why? How is it that George Floyd gets a effing gold casket surrounded by celebrities, and this woman who was just coming off her work shift isn't even mentioned on the news? That's a really good point. It's a really good point there.
It's a great point. But there's a good reason why it's not. Number one, George Floyd was the man. So it was everyone against the man. This isn't the man. This is, we're not in a place where we've gotten to the point where the script is completely flipped.
Right.
Okay. We're not mad at the people who are creating crime yet. We're still mad at the government. We're still mad at authority. We haven't gotten to that place yet. And this poor Ukrainian person is probably never going to get anything because what you've got is you've got a person who's probably crazy, probably got on drugs, probably got some mental issues going on. And like John was saying earlier, if you don't do something to clean this shit up, it's just going to get worse. So you got to get a little bit of, I love freedom. If you want to go and drug your ass out and go lay in a fucking gutter somewhere and ruin your life, you go for it, baby.
That's you.
But here's the thing. The moment your shit starts fucking with my shit, that's when it's over. And that's when you need the government to help you make sure that shit doesn't happen.
Right.
So freedom,
100%.
but rule of law is important. Okay. And so that until something changes, we're stuck.
Yeah, I am 100% with you. I don't care what you do. As long as you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. You go, well, you don't like trans people. Like, I don't care what you do. I don't care if you cut stuff off. I don't care.
It's when you're trying to dictate how we do things. That's when we got a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I have a problem when you start trying to tell me how I need to live, what I need to say, who I need to support, how I need to think. That's when I completely disregard you as a real human, and I just see you as an NPC. Because you do not tell me, if I give you the freedom that you want, then you need to let me have the freedom that I want. Period. The end.
I think you guys are very similar to us, and we've talked many times about what's happening over here at the moment. But it's the same with yourselves. There gets to a point when people will go, do you know what? We are seeing this happen so often now that it's being allowed to happen for whatever reason. Like you said, Shane, that the police are scared to be sued into oblivion or have criminal charges, so they step away. There's people above them that are effectively making them scapegoats, and then what happens? General people in the community will rise up and they will say, do you know what? We've got to protect our communities now. And that's when you have flashpoints, and that's when it gets to a dangerous place. And they need to reverse that.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of flashpoints, and we're gonna be going pretty soon here in the members section, but I wanted to briefly touch on this. Then we'll finish this in the members section. This is from Patrick. I cannot say this guy's name. Shane, help me out.
Bet David.
I always mess his name up. It's so weird to me.
PBD.
He did a collaborative video with Jubilee, and basically it's one capitalist, aka PBD, versus 20 anti-capitalists, aka communist. And the reason I normally would not bring up another YouTuber's stuff unless it was like hyper controversial or based or whatever, but this is actually super interesting because PBD is in this very unique position in order to offer these people exactly what they want. And watching them all come up with the Olympics of excuses to not take him up on his offer is mind-bogglingly fun to watch. It's just such a fun thing to witness. And so I want to play it for you guys before I play it, Shane, you got any opinions on this?
I mean, I watched the whole thing. It was very interesting. It's very typical of a society like ours where our youth are, they're trying to form their opinions. And of course, the way they look at it. And I understand. This video actually made me come up with my own concept, an idea, because it's true that young people, and I've got 5 kids that are all in this age bracket. I understand the feeling that you're never going to be able to succeed, or the feeling that you feel like the government maybe is never going to let you get there. And so I see where their arguments are coming from. But Patrick Bet David, he kind of hammers this into like, say, look, you gotta help yourself. And our kids are falling into this victimization. And what you see is a bunch of victims sitting around here right now. That's what I think.
Yeah, and also you're in the best country in the world, arguably, to fulfill your dreams.
Yeah, for jumping classes, this is the easiest country to do it in.
Yeah, and I'm not saying from starting at rock bottom it's going to be easy, but as he points out in this with all of them, he's an Iranian that came to the USA. He had nothing, and yet he built himself up.
There's a guy who was taller than him. Who was sitting across from him. You got to see it. He's like, we live in a society that if you're not 6'5" and white, there's no way you can make it. He goes, I'm 5'9" Iranian.
I think before you play it was one that you probably won't get to today, but the one for me was the guy that I've applied for 400 jobs and I've never had a response back on any. Oh, okay.
We're gonna get there because that one was my favorite, bro. That guy looks sort of like He looks sort of like
with the little mullet ponytail at the
what,
back.
What Mormons think Jesus looks like? That's pretty much what he looks like. All right, so we're gonna watch a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch a couple of these, then we're gonna say goodbye, and we're gonna finish it in the members section. I'm not trying to tease you guys, but it's a long video, and we run out of time, but we did say we're gonna do it, so we're gonna watch a couple of them.
Yeah.
Then we'll finish the members section. If you want to become a member, it's pretty simple. Hit the join button bottom left. If not, that's cool too. Let's finish this up. Oh my gosh, I have it muted. Sorry, guys. Let me unmute it real quick. There we go. Unmute. Okay. And we're back.
States of America.
Would you take money from a capitalist to help you go see specialists?
I mean, yeah, sure, why not?
But would you also be open to seeing somebody else I choose as a psychologist that may...
No.
You're not.
No.
that nobody was... No, I like getting the drugs that I'm currently being prescribed. Do not take that away from me.
No.
When you're offering people here jobs, right? You're saying that they would have to pay you money to get that. So in reality, you're trying to convince them to pay you money to be part of your
claims
company.
of defaming. Be very careful defaming when you don't know the fact. I'm Patrick David. I'm an entrepreneur and founder.
By the way, pause it. That is true. Now, one of the things Patrick Bet David, one of the things he's known for is he runs an insurance company. And anybody who knows about selling insurance in this world knows, you know about it, John? So
I'm a business insurance broker, yeah.
Okay, well
that's what he does.
If I'm wrong here, but you become an independent contractor when you start selling insurance, but you need someone who's licensed to do it to sell for. And so I think Patrick McDavid is the kind of guy you buy your stuff from so you can go sell insurance. So he does make a piece of what each person puts out there. And I don't think he was ready for somebody to attack him on that level.
It's a little bit like an MLM.
Makes a commission.
Yeah,
makes a commission.
He makes money off his downline.
Right. Which,
almost like a pyramid.
If you've got enough people that you're making money off their downline, you're sitting high up on that pyramid. It's nice. So
yeah,
it doesn't say it's not hard work and it's not, it's not a legitimate business.
We're not saying insurance is sort of like a pyramid scheme.
Well, the fact that it's required.
I'm just going to stop there.
Well.
All right, here we go.
PBD podcast. Today I'm surrounded by 20 anti-capitalists,
aka communist.
My first claim is incentive is the engine of capitalism. Remove it and the system fails.
Look at wait. You guys missed this. Here we go.
Running for it.
Oh, there's Mormon Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
There's it. We're gonna get to
the
Mormon
white Jesus.
Yeah.
By the way, Jesus wasn't white, guys. I just want to.
Jesus was like, well, he was Hebrew. Right? He's Jewish.
Well, he's Middle Eastern. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's some Jews that look sort of white, but
Jesus is brown.
But Jesus definitely did not have red hair. All right, here we go.
Jesus wouldn't have been in Peacemaker season 2.
No, he wouldn't have been. All right, so they run for that chair. I never watched one of these until this one. I'm like, oh, it's interesting. The timer counts down. They all have to try to tag the chair in time to address this question with PBD.
That's weird, by the way.
Great to meet you, Patrick.
What's your name?
My name's Mason.
Mason, good to meet you.
Yeah. I'm value-tained. I'm a big fan of the channel.
Are you
So,
really?
yeah, I do watch it quite regularly.
Very cool.
I do not agree with your claim. I don't think that incentives are only born out of capitalism.
Okay.
Most capitalist defenders say that incentive is because of scarcity, and people's ability to get what is necessary pushes them to work harder. I disagree with that. I'd say that some of our hardest workers are single moms working 3 to 4 jobs, and the resources that they're able to acquire compared to those.
Can someone tell me how you're a single mom who worked 3 or 4 jobs?
Well, my mom was actually.
She worked 3 or 4 jobs at a time?
She worked 3 jobs. Yeah, my mom did. When I was
at the same time?
Same time, yep. She would go from job to job to job.
Oh, they're all part-time jobs?
All part-time jobs. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it
can't be.
Oh, it is true. It is possible. Now, there aren't that many of them doing it. I'm just saying.
Right.
But it is. I mean, I hear what he's saying. That said, what situation? My mom put herself into a situation, so you had to put yourself there to get there.
Right.
So.
And your mom dragged herself out though too.
Yeah, she married good.
She worked hard.
Yeah,
right?
She worked hard, married a good guy. They worked hard together.
Right.
Yeah.
In order to
we
build profit for their own
were
companies.
upper lower class. It was all good.
Yeah.
Is not equivocal.
So how would you do it? How would you change it?
Yeah, so I think that humans inherently want to be meaningful. They want to contribute to their communities. They want to
I might
contribute
skip
to
this
society.
guy.
When you look at depression rates,
too smart.
oftentimes it's people who aren't able to do anything.
I'm looking for more
besides
entertainment here,
laying in their bed
more
and basically
value-tainment.
barely taking care of themselves.
Yeah,
I think that it's
I
just
don't
a
believe
human
humans
intrinsic
want to
value.
I don't believe humans want to give to their community. I'm going to fight back on this one. Now, maybe girls do. Maybe women want to because they're into they like the community thing. Most dudes don't want to give back to the community. You don't sit around going, I'm going to give back to the community. No, you do it because it's going to benefit you in some way, or your wife is kicking your ass into doing it because you have to do it.
Yeah. I'm not trying to help my neighbor. If I help my neighbor with his trash, it's because my wife saw him struggling and her hospitality heart, her nice, kind heart, used me as a tool in which to feel better about herself and told me to go help him with the trash. If I saw my neighbor struggling with trash, I'd be like, good luck, bro. That's the extent of my problems. And no one's helping me with my trash.
By the way, he doesn't want the help.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Okay, so the one doesn't want to help the other man, and that man don't want the help because it makes you look like a weak man.
Yeah, if I needed help, if I truly needed help, I will ask you. I will swallow my pride, and that will be my payoff. But 90% of the time, we don't need help. We don't want help.
You'll try to do it by yourself.
Well, you actually say good luck, bro. I don't. I stand by my window in the lounge with a bar of chocolate, just watching him struggle until he gets to the bin. I'm like, is he going to drop it? Is he going to drop it? Is he going to drop it? Mum, I owe you £20.
He's slipping on ice. You're just I think he broke his leg.
Ambulance will be here in 20 minutes.
I thought this guy used the Star Trek defense, and that is that in the future you don't need money, right? And everybody just does stuff because it's fun to do your job. I'm still not convinced that that's a reality, even in the future that will be a reality.
No, can I tell you the real economy of Star Trek that they won't tell you?
Go ahead.
Holodeck credits.
If they make it scarce, yes, I agree.
Well,
listen.
Can I just say
you're not working because you want to do your job. You are compensated. Yeah, you're taken care of. You get your replicator credits, all that stuff. But the real reason you work, and no one ever says it, they all say it's for noble reasons, but it's really the holodeck credits. That's why.
Yeah, well, original series. What does Kirk say to Scotty? Scotty, you just earned your pay for the week. He says it. And what's that? Doomsday Machine, I think it was. Where they're on the other ship and he gets phases.
And guess what? That was before holodecks.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Not according to New Star Trek, but yes.
Oh yeah, New Star Trek tried to make so stupid. Yeah. Strange New Worlds, so stupid. Shut up. Strange New Worlds.
Well, we'll get into it in the members chat, but I've just watched 4.5 Vulcans, and the convulsion I talk about, it's already happened. It's not good.
You watched that was like last week's episode. The last episode. Are you a week behind?
Yep. No, I've watched the latest one as well.
Oh, okay.
But
all right,
4.5 Vulcans break me.
Move on. Let's play this.
You to want to bring value to their community or grander society.
Okay,
so I don't think that it has to be through scarcity alone that scares people into working. If that makes sense.
I worked for scarcity. I think there's levels to it. You have the survival folks who work for survival to pay their bills. Some work for status, some work for freedom, and some work for legacy. The folks that work 3 or 5 jobs, to pay their bills and do what they're doing, if the incentive wasn't there, they wouldn't work 3 to 5 jobs.
No,
some of the guys that build a bigger business that solve a lot of problems.
The incentive there is either I die or I work. That's not really a system that
that's
rewards
not true
merit.
either.
That's a system that pushes people into insecure positions.
See, that's not true. In the United States, that's not true. You die or you work. That's not true. It's you live comfortably or you don't live comfortably. That's the way you work. I don't work because I think I'll die if I don't. I work because I want to take care of my family and have air conditioning.
That's fair. Yeah, but it is also, if you don't work, you're good. I mean, nobody's going to take care of you. You can get some welfare, but it's generally not enough to survive, at least in our state.
No, but yeah, but
it is in our country.
You're 100% right, but you can work less and have less and be less comfortable. Those are options too.
We put ourselves in situations as well. But when we're talking
are you
incentive,
saying that it's an individual failure for these single mothers that are working 3 to 4 jobs?
For some of them, it is.
Interesting.
For some of them, it is.
I'm glad you bite that bullet,
I know,
because most people are not going to say that it's a moral failure of people that are born into poverty that continue to live
let me
out
explain to you. For
cyclical
somebody
poverty.
like me, I came from the single mother system. My mother was a single mother. You know, we had, you know, my parents got a divorce twice. They married each other. They divorced. They remarried each other. Divorced again. I came up, we didn't have a lot of choices. I joined the Army, I got at that system, kind of wanted to see what I was gonna do for myself. Do I stay in the Army? Do I get out of the Army? I started working in sales. And then the incentive of working harder, eventually I built
Some
a
of
good
these
life
characters
for myself.
look like
you're totally dismissing
central
the hard work
casting
that a lot of
for
these people are putting
socialists.
into for just basic survival. I'd say that
Supernatural.
mechanics and plumbers and most people working blue-collar jobs that are probably watching this video are working tirelessly day after day.
I don't
but yet
disagree.
they
I don't
still
disagree.
feel insecure positions to where they don't even know if they're going to be able to afford rent in the next 6 months.
So let me ask
if
you-
most Americans have a $400 to $500 emergency, they can't even afford that with the basic savings that they have.
It's true.
So this is not something that we should celebrate as promises of a system that gives you more if you work harder. We should say that this is something that rewards few, and I'm glad that you're an outlier that's been able to build a lot of success for yourself. I know that you're a multimillionaire. That's that's fantastic that you have
But
those
when you
resources.
explain
But the thing
outlier,
is that
let me
cannot
ask you this
happen
question,
for
though.
everybody in society. It's possible for each individual to do it, but not everybody can be a millionaire. That's
for
guaranteed.
You, I don't think not everybody can be a billionaire or a millionaire, but I do think people can find ways to use their time to effectively increase their market value. And I don't think many people do that. When I talk to people and they tell me, I've watched this show, I've watched every one of these shows, I've watched every one of these Netflix shows, you can use that time to increase your market value instead of kind of, you know, focus on what's going on with the stories and shows that are out there.
Let's move away from Netflix and TV shows and talk specifically about, do you think that capitalism is a system of merit that rewards people that are of higher merit?
I do.
Okay, so how would you say that this is a meritocracy when we have some people that are born into excessive wealth and some people that are working minimum wage jobs to provide for 3 or 4 kids? How would you say that that's a meritocratic society?
Those are two different things. When you,
they are two different things, very unequal things.
Well, no, not necessarily. The parents get credit for
we got a
making
flag.
responsible decisions so they can take care of their kids.
So,
the
apparently,
parents get
if a certain amount of flags are raised,
I didn't come
then the
from
conversation will be abruptly ended, and the next person can take over the show.
But we're talking about systems. Capitalism
And
is a system.
it's quickly getting to that point.
That you get
Flags
to
are going up
use
right
in
now.
your advantage. It's a system that's produced the best results
see it?
than
You see the
any
bottom
other
left?
economical system. There's not an economical system that's produced better results than this.
I think
the guy's about to run out of time.
History is a march of progress, right? So there are going to be advancements that we make, or there's going to be solutions that we make to previous ailments. I'm not saying that capitalism hasn't brought in better things than systems like feudalism or monarchy, but that does not mean that we're at the end of history. Do you think that capitalism is the final solution, and this is what we're going to last
think capitalism
as we go
is
into
the
I don't know, but I know for a fact that socialism is not. It's going to be like, look, I don't think Star Trek is possible without holodeck credits here, guys. Like, people are not, they're not making jambalaya for the community for free. Because, like, if you gave me a holodeck, you gave me that society, I'm not showing up for work. I'm not cooking dinner for you. I'm getting my replicator rations, and I'm heading to the holodeck. That's all I'm going to do every day for the rest of my life.
Because
Good. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just quickly going to say, if that was me in the future of Star Trek, and someone said to me, "I'm a holodeck engineer," and they went, "Holodeck's broken," I'll go, "What's your point?" Right? I didn't get my credits. Sorry, you crack on.
Right.
Well, what I was going to say was, what his argument is like, yeah, maybe some of the few. You're right. Not everybody is going to be a millionaire, billionaire, right? In this society and in humanity, we're going to have losers. If you had a society where everybody got the same thing, I don't think that would work either, because eventually people would get bored. Human beings need to strive. They need to accomplish. They need to have a purpose for living. It isn't all about just survival and everybody being comfortable. And that's what people don't realize about, socialism versus capitalism or communism. It isn't for the bottom level. Yeah, it is about survival for some people, but really we need to thrive as human beings. And it is a meritocracy because you get to choose whether or not you try to do those things. Now, I understand not everybody's capable of generating the gumption that say Patrick Bet David is able to do, or the desire or the ferocity that it takes to be successful. Not everybody can.
Well, there's some luck to involve, knowing the right people at the right time.
Of course, luck, but without those other things, the luck doesn't mean shit either.
Right.
So what I'm saying is just because it's not in you to be able to do that doesn't mean that society should have to take care of you. Okay. It means that, maybe we need to have maybe you should be right on the lower rung if you just want to hold on like that. And that's fine. We'll make sure you don't die. But it doesn't mean you have to have the same life as somebody who's busting their ass to make something of themselves.
Shane, have you ever seen those guys that live like just on the edge of like Yosemite in their little
their yurts,
their little like motorhome trailer with the solar cells on the top, and you see them out there drinking their coffee when you're on the way with your family? Yeah. Can I be honest with you? Sometimes I envy those guys. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like these guys, they're making like their 20% retirement or whatever, and that's enough for them. And they live in their little trailer, in the middle of what a lot of people consider vacation. They go there to vacation. It's paradise to them, and they're not wealthy. They don't have the best coffee. They don't eat the best meat, but they eat. They relax. They chill. Their days are calm. And I'm driving by, and I got kids in my car. My wife is mad at me. I spent $300 to get here. I got 2 more days of this. I'm going to spend $1,000 that I barely have, only to get home even more tired than when I left. And this guy is just casually sipping his coffee.
That's the benefit of capitalism as well.
Right.
So here's the thing. That guy gets to sit and chill and do nothing. Now, if you're in a socialist society or a communist society, you're going to work your ass off for the greater good.
Right.
So you don't get to chill. So maybe you're on the bottom rung and just hanging on, and that's all you need.
And maybe you're happy with that.
Capitalism works for you too.
Right.
Yeah. So if you were a socialist, your ass is going to work because you got to take care of everybody.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Best economical system because it gives an incentive for you to decide how big of a life you want to build. And by the way,
I was waiting for that flag to get filled out.
Let me just say this to you: the best
I want to see the rush
it
for the chair.
is in a very simple way. Take all the countries around the world. There's many different economical systems. What has the longest line of people wanting to get in there? It's America. Why is that? 15 million people came here illegally. Millions came here illegally just the last 4 years.
Look at Sand fact check.
That's bullshit. That's a bullshit fact check. You don't know the answer to that question either. Right. You don't know the answer to that question. Nobody knows how many people came. It's a guess.
Yeah, they
Why
don't.
Fact check?
I love it when they go, approximately 12.7 people entered the country illegally. Those are the ones you caught, you genius. You think we have a 100% catch rate? Are you joking? Jeez,
I don't even know if these are people they caught. I think this is a guess.
This is a guess. Yeah.
Well, they
a lot of that is because
7 million people.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, maybe they recorded it.
Because of economic scarcity in other countries. Well, one of them, we could talk about one, is American exceptionalism, which is continuing. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
All right. Here we go. Here we go.
How are you? What's your name?
Hi, I'm Alana. It's nice to meet you. Okay, so I think the issue is the framing of incentive here.
Okay, guys, spoiler alert, she's nuts. She's a crazy person, and we're going to cover her in the members section. Sorry for the tease. I know it sucks. But it is now past 2:30, and we have to go to the members section if I am going to be able to continue being intimate with my wife today or ever in the future. I have to eventually end the stream, which means we have to go to the members section. Listen, I love you guys. We love you guys. If you want to become a member, it's pretty simple. Hit the join button bottom left. If you're not a member and you're not going to plan on joining us for the next hour of the show, that's cool. We'll see you tomorrow on John's channel at 12:30 p.m. PST, where we are watching Stargate SG-1. Guys, on the way out.
Yes, thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you. Thank you, John, for being a part of our team. We appreciate you so much. And listen, we'll be back next week.
Holy shit! Wait!
What?
You guys seeing this? Look at the amount of viewers we have all of a sudden.
Yeah, welcome everybody. I noticed that a few minutes ago, and I was going to check it out with you. Actually,
Holy moly!
I saw it, and I was like, am I imagining that?
Where did
And I was
900
like, I need-
people just show up from, dude?
It's because you're running the Patrick Bet David clips. That's what it was. Got everybody excited.
No, for real though. Okay, you guys tell me in the chat, where did 900 people just come from?
They don't know.
It was. I thought it was my cap that lured them in here. But,
Yeah, like, did we get raided by someone? Did Ryan Kennel? No, for real. Like I've seen people do that before. I mean, I hate to leave when there's 900 people watching, but we have to. Okay, my wife will not have sex with me anymore if I'm here for too much longer.
Well, if these people are enjoying it, come into the members section with us. Come and join us in there. It's good fun. We'll carry it on. We'll have a good laugh. You know, just do it. It's easy. You know, come and join us. It's good fun. Good to see you. If you come in.
That jump,
growing higher.
That random jump just like came out of nowhere. What a wacky amount of views. All right. Well, unfortunately, we do have to leave.
You know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. Okay, every once in a while, the YouTube algorithm will grab a live show and toss it up on the YouTube live, all the channels. And what we've got right now is probably a bunch of people who saw the thumbnail and decided to click. They're not chatting, but they're watching a little bit. What I will say to you people is, listen, if you like this, we're going to get this every week. Come back next week because we've really been trying to grow our live view numbers. We're here every Saturday at 12 o'clock, and we'll be back talking about all this favorite stuff that you guys like. So while we have to go now, we'll be back next week, and please come back and check us out.
Yeah. So Marsha's right. It was the Dr. Pepper sponsorship. That's what it was. Just so you guys know, this hot take sponsored by Dr. Pepper, and we are going to the members section. Unfortunately, sorry, we got to leave all you guys here, but the members are more important than all you 1,000 people. So we're going to the members section. I hope you can join us. Again, if you want to become a member, hit the bottom left, hit that join button, buy us a cup of coffee, and you can hang out with us every week. And we got our pants off. We get a little dirty, and we're going to be talking about PBD a little more. We're going to look at all the crazy liberals or communists. And spoiler alert, PBD actually offers them lots of money to give away their citizenship and move to a communist country, and they find every excuse in the book not to.
We're also going to be talking directly, answering your questions. So this is your opportunity to talk to us, say the things that you want to say, and we're going to be talking directly to you. So that's a lot of fun.
And if you want us to keep our pants on, come into the members section and tell us, and we will acknowledge it. We will.
Listen, if you're not coming, that's fine. We'll see you on John's channel. The link is in the description. Tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. PST. We're watching Stargate SG-1 Season 2. That said, I love you guys. We'll see you in the members section. Don't forget, this was sponsored by Dr. Pepper Hot Take. See you then.
See ya.